What's up, Internet? I'm Aries Van Dam. How y'all doing? Today's video, I wanted to go back and look at a participant that I had already reviewed, G.I. Jane. In that little debate, they had discussed a previous debate where there was a lot of conflict. And so I found it. It's in two parts. I found it in two different parts. So I'm going to show you two videos from Back to the Roots today. And it's Andrew Wilson showing why G.I. Jane hated him so much. It makes a lot more sense now why that debate was a debacle because of this debate. It's a really weird one. It's I think it's Michael Certain and I forgot the other guy's name, the guy with the long hair. He's the red pill guy. Very good debate though. Cooley's involved, which I like Cooley's content. I'm gonna get around to doing some Cooley stuff soon. I really love No Fugazi. Great channel. Go check out No Fugazi and of course the Quartering. You know to check out the Quartering. But I do want to highlight some things because when you see the video, I'm sure you saw the thumbnail of the girl we're talking about. So I want to show you what a poor investment it is to invest in women like this, because you'll see what she looked like then, and then you're going to fast forward, what is it, 14 months, and this is what you're going to see. Oh, I got to remove that. Check this out. That's her. The girl from the thumbnail, that's her. 14 months later. So you sign up for a girl with pretty hair, and she's all cute and stuff, and the next thing you know, this is what you got. A lizard lady. Get your rings ready, fellas. Get your rings ready. This is what you get. But enough of that. Let's get to the debate. Let's get to the main event. So I'm going to start off with, this one. This one is a little later.
Okay, do you want to go with another one?
Before I do, I have to correct Jesse one more time.
Oh, good Lord, what?
Sorry, because you said that Fresh and Fit just get dumb hoes on their show.
I said they get a bunch
every
of
every time this happens.
Were you talking about Fresh and Fit?
In their defense, they do get a lot of dumb hoes, but what else are they supposed to get? If they want women, that's what shows up. That's a reflection of society now. So yes, they do get a lot of dumb hoes on whatever. Just like on this show, you're going to see a full panel of dumb hoes. And there's not much of a choice. If you want to put women on the show, they're what shows up. They're what shows up. You can bring intelligent ones. They're still going to say the dumb shit. You can bring Tommy Lahren on. She seems intelligent. I mean, she'll get on there and spew her nonsense feminism bullshit too. That's just all we have now.
Or were you talking about the video?
Basically.
No, Fresh and Fit does not usually get, no.
The words Fresh and Fit never came out of my mouth. So that's why the podcast
who else?
here.
Okay, so for Fresh and Fit, anyways, they've had last count, anyways. Thank you, Big Mo. 2,132 female guests. Ages range from 18 to 46. From 45 different U.S. states, 61 different countries, with 181 different job titles, including unemployment and 159 Frank Castles.
Frank Castles. There we go.
Also did two panels
Thank you,
with
Big
all
Mo,
women
for
over
your
40.
contributions.
I did two panels with all women over 40. I pretty much did
You
the
guys
same
realize
thing.
I wasn't like trying to say you did this or you did that.
We
I said
understand.
most
but
of the
it's-
podcasts that are floating on the internet.
Well, Jesse, I'll tell you this. Like, so there's two issues. There's number one, I don't think it's hard enough to get 10 girls to come on a show. Period. So I don't like to be the idea that I only want young. And I know you're not talking about me, but the only idea that I want young or dumb is not true. The thing is, when I come on here, I try to get the 3 M's. I try to get mothers, master's degrees, and I try to get married. And when I do so,
And they're all still stupid. Go figure. They're all still stupid. It's almost like education don't have shit to do with it, huh? You got dumb lady ideas in your head? They're going to be there. It doesn't matter how much other education you put there. They're still going to have the dumb lady logic.
the answers are exactly the same from the 22-year-old girls with an OnlyFans. It's exactly the same answers. This is my point. It's like, I don't think they're selecting for dumb young girls. I think they're just getting what they're getting. Now, on whatever podcast, I will grant you there's a lot.
That's a really nice way of saying women are really fucking stupid today. Really fucking stupid. That's the nicest way you could say that. I don't say things that way, but he's a very nice man.
The girls who go in anime costumes who are just there to get fucking attention. I agree with that. Not so much on Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit will have surgical nurses and fucking master's degrees on there all the time.
Yeah,
and
but
so
you guys are studying.
Still fucking stupid though.
Studying different topics. You guys are specifically focused on like red pill, blue pill content, and then you bring on women that have never researched these topics. They're not reading the content you're reading.
So why would they go on a show to debate that? Almost sounds like they're stupid, right? To go on a national show that's going to be shown to the universe and not do any research into the shit you're talking about? I think we're exposing what we're trying to expose. Stupidity in women. Just how dumb women have become. That's what he's trying to expose, and he's doing it successfully.
And then you guys make examples of them for views. That's 100% what happened.
I've had a little bit of anger with him sometimes because I will religiously ask him before the podcast, what are we talking today about?
I'm sorry, I should have sent you the videos.
I do not like walking into a situation where I sound or feel stupid because I can't contribute because I didn't know that this thing happened or whatever it is that they're discussing. And he's like, don't worry, just come on. And I am like, no. Absolutely not.
Like we're not sitting here with laptops.
And that's the problem, that they have a lot of...
And that's the difference in men and women. You ask me to go on? Sure, I'm there. Let's talk some shit. I will do my research, but this girl, nah. Y'all just got to talk about shit I know. She's going to control the fucking podcast. That's why they shouldn't be there.
Unaware, uneducated on the topic at hand, girls come on.
Oh, I agree with that.
And they look dumb, and they look uneducated, and they're young, and like it just, you pile on a lot.
They look uneducated, and a lot of them have master's degrees. So let that sink in. They're not uneducated. They just look that way because they're so dumb.
A lot of components where women are being stacked up against.
Right.
And that is what keeps circulating through social media.
Isn't there some
it's
level...
not the clips of the very smart woman having an intellectual conversation with the men.
Where are those?
It's always there's always the clips of the 22-year-old. I have had sex with 70 guys this week, and that's what men think of women, and that's what's going around, and that's why everyone is talking shit and saying 304s, whatever.
Why do they get infantile? Why is it you treat them like babies? Like if you know you're going on a podcast, wouldn't you do research?
On what?
Research.
Some of these women are going on for like their 8th time. They still don't do any fucking research. They get humiliated each and every time, and each and every time they show back up for another beating. So you figure that out. You figure that out. I would have learned after the first beating that I need to do some research.
Everything in the world, in case I know for sure what they're going to discuss.
It doesn't need to be you have to research everything in the world, but you can get a general idea for a podcast.
I don't even know.
Yeah, no one knows that on the whatever podcast, they're going to ask you if it's man versus bear. Do you know the shit they're going to ask? Because they ask it every fucking week. You could watch 2 episodes and you'll know exactly what they're going to do on the show for the entire 6 hours you're there. It's that simple. But women are too lazy to do any kind of research or look into anything. They'll just show up and be the victim. And then cry, oh, I'm a victim.
Who else is coming on the show until...
Let me try this.
Why is that necessary? You can still go through
David,
the backlog of the content.
If Joe Rogan,
what they usually talk about.
If Joe Rogan was going to have you on his show, would you do some research before?
For sure.
How much would you do?
A decade's worth. Because you don't know where that's going to go. You got to research everything.
A lot.
I would do at least 22 hours of research.
I'll do a week.
Yeah, a week.
Okay.
I would be.
And then you walk on there, and what he talks about has nothing to do with anything that you
But Joe Rogan lets you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I would be so rock solid when I did whatever podcast.
It wouldn't matter. You would do your research on the shit that you would think he's going to talk about. You walk in and the show's about aliens today or about some other silliness. Like that show is really cool because I like how it goes in different directions like that. You could be talking to a neurosurgeon about, social shit that's happening in the news. Like it goes in weird directions. And that's what's the beauty of the Joe Rogan podcast.
If I ever have to do a debate against Andrew, you better fucking believe with Destiny. That was 30 hours of research I did before I went up with Destiny.
But
I am never taking a fucking L with 1 million people watching me. That is not going to fucking happen. So that's the thing. Like sometimes
it is.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Hey, Andrew's coming for me.
Well, no,
Andrew's coming for me.
But see, a lot of times it's designed, and I can sort of understand what Jesse's saying here is because I have gone on to podcasts where I have debated like people like Ruslan, for example. It's like there was no topics ever thrown at me for that, and they're saying, well, you should know this and you should know that. I'm like, well, if I'm on trial. If it's not a debate anymore and it's just like an indictment or just sort of, a witch hunt, well, of course, I'll defend myself as best as I can. But it's like you can study somebody up to a point, but if they're going to say, okay, well, we're not going to talk about anything I've talked about in the past, and we're going to talk about, I don't know, nuclear proliferation or some shit like that, I'm like, okay, well, I'm at a disadvantage here.
But those are the exceptions to the rule.
True,
right?
true.
And that doesn't it doesn't help women any, because that's the key here. When you don't know what you're talking about, just be quiet. Just don't say nothing. You don't have to talk, but women are incapable of that. Like, if people are talking, then they need to add their voice to it, even if they don't know what they're talking about. And that's why they get in trouble on whatever, because they think it's a social thing and they show up to gab with the girls, and then the boys tear into them. Like, if you don't know what you're talking about, shut your fucking mouth.
I mean, usually that's not the case.
Well,
I
no,
understand you can walk into ambushes, things like that.
Right.
It happens.
Lord knows I have.
Yeah.
Same.
Everybody.
But I
has
will
these
say this: when I
podcasts.
went on Dr. Phil,
I also want y'all to notice the girl right to Andrew's right, as this thing goes on, she becomes more and more unhinged and starts staring at him like she's about to bite him. I want you to pay attention to that. I'll be pointing it out as we go. She's got a twin too, and the twin across the table is doing the same shit, but only at Andrew for some reason. Like, they just keep staring and eye fucking him, and like they're just trying everything he says. They try and jump in on. It's like they're fiending to get at him, and he's determined to get G.I. Jane first. So he'll get to them later.
Phil, I did about 60 hours worth of my homework on that, because I knew what I would be walking into on something like that. But if it's something that's a little more casual, where people are saying, "Hey, why don't you come on my show and we're going to talk about this?" I don't think. I can understand how some podcast it might be that way, like maybe whatever, where it's like The Price is Right and everybody's got a costume on and they're all supposed to look at, like, I don't know, idiots or whatever. And I understand that, but that's the thing is that if you know that podcast, you know what you're getting into already. You know that we're all going to wear.
Well, but how do you know what you're getting?
We're going to look
into?
like the Red Bear. And
Wait. How do you know what you're getting into?
Well, because you have to go and you have to do
because
the
you
background
went,
on
you
it.
did the research and you figured it right.
Is it worthwhile to do that? And I was going to say, Jesse, I think that was one of the reasons why we started the show in the first place, is because we're not trying to put women on the spot.
Which is what
We're
I said
trying
to you last time. I come
exactly.
on the show with you guys, not because I'm just his friend for so long, but because you could have a completely difference of opinion.
These guys, to be fair, I've seen a couple of their podcasts, and to be fair, they do give them women a lot more opportunities to pretend like they know what they're talking about than I like. I prefer whenever you just tear into them immediately, because you can tell already. But they do try and have these conversations with these dumb degenerates, and it doesn't go anywhere, obviously. But they try, more so than Fresh and Fit and whatever. They don't really do that pretense. Like, they don't even pretend. He says he tries to get master's degrees. I don't see a lot of master's degrees sitting at this table unless it's being held by men. But
Or perspective, and you guys are not about to make the girls sitting in here feel stupid. We can disagree or agree to disagree or agree or whatever, but you guys don't make us feel bad for it. However,
they should. If you're saying something that's stupid, you should feel bad about it. Someone, a man typically, should stand up and say, "Hey, you're being stupid," and try and correct that action. And they just can't stand that. They can't stand it.
proof in the pudding, as soon as I opened my mouth, the very first question asked, the two of them died laughing. And they thought it was really funny before I could even get my sentence out. There's just a different way to manage how you come across to people and how you treat them. And for me, that's the only reason why I come on here with you
Got
guys.
it. So here's another thing. Like,
I didn't laugh. It was just me.
Yeah, it was just
Didn't laugh at all.
He's
Oh,
not.
my
He's
apologies.
not throwing him under the bus. I have a coaching program, so I have to be a little bit more political. These
Oh, so you would be mean to me
These guys are
otherwise.
incredible content creators that don't have to. They don't have to do that. They can sit there and say exactly what they feel. They're not really concerned about.
As everyone should. This world would be a much better place if everyone just said how they really feel.
Anyone else's
One of the
feelings.
things that you're saying is something that I think is a common complaint that women just simply don't get. I was just saying a moment ago that men and women tend to speak past each other. We just saw a video right now where women are like, "Yeah, men ain't shit. Fuck, we don't need no men." And then you have all these men saying, "Yeah, we love women. We want to get with women. You know, we need women. Women are hot, whatever it is." Right? You see, what happens is you can sugarcoat things and you can put things into. You can tone police yourself. But eventually it becomes, it's not about the tone, it's about what you're imparting. It's about the content of the communication. It's about the information being related, as opposed to saying, I mean, you can sugarcoat it and make it as nice as possible, but it's still going to punch you in the face, because if it's something that you disagree with that is factually true, then it's still going to have the same effect.
But I think if you, like, for example, you probably have some incredible knowledge that I would find really interesting and useful and probably change my mind on some things. But I think the way you come across is
Tone policing. Early on, they start with the tone policing. You can't be laughing at these girls. You can't tell them when everything they say is stupid. You can't tell them the fact that it is. Tone policing. That's where she starts at, and that's where it goes downhill.
So like off-putting, where it's like I'm immediately
Aw.
defensive. I'm like, why are you being like that? You know,
I
like
can tell you why.
because I
well, hold on. Let me finish. What I was gonna say is
She's used to every guy telling her every idea she has is magnificent because they want to fuck her. Because at this time, she was actually kind of attractive. She's about a 7 right here. When she shaves her head and goes on whatever later, she's about a 2. Like, she looks like a lizard alien lady. So she's fucking I think by the next time she shows up, I think she might be brought back to reality because she was flying high here. You're going to hear some of her resume, which she loves to fucking talk about. You're going to hear a lot about her resume in a minute.
like I would love to have a conversation with you and listen to what you have to say, but just it would be nice if you would at least try to do it from a place of education and, you know.
He's not your teacher. He's not supposed to be educating you, adult. He's supposed to be debating you. So he's not your teacher. That's not his job. He's there to disturb your worldview.
Sharing ideas instead of like slam dunking.
But that's what I've been doing.
That's not how
All
it's
right,
being
I
received.
don't feel that way.
No, that's not how it's being received.
Yeah, I don't feel that way.
I can tell
Okay,
you why.
well,
I can
That's
tell
what you're
you
saying.
why.
I don't feel that
No,
way.
I think
Yeah,
everybody
look,
here.
look.
Yeah, this little demon here, she starts looking like she's about to bite him in a little bit. It's starting to build. This is early on.
A table. I don't know, except for you. I'm not speaking for you.
They don't feel that way.
I promise you that you are definitely coming across as rude and condescending.
Andrew, can I ask you a question?
Wait, before you get to that, so I can tell you.
He hasn't said anything at this point. He hasn't even gotten started. This is going to get so much better.
Why. The reason why I feel this way, because we ain't trying to smash. I mean, I can speak for
No,
myself. This is
it's
my
not
first
even
time
that.
in
I do
Vegas,
with
and
it.
I ain't
It is
trying
that.
to hit nothing.
Listen, I've been in the
let me
military for a
explain
long
why. Let me
time,
explain
work with
why.
mostly
That's not
men.
makes you like
I work with mostly men.
Notice how they all let her talk and get all of her bullshit out. Then when they start trying to rebuff it, she can't let them talk. That's a woman trick right there. The constant interruption. And then if you interrupt her, hey, I'm a lady.
Listen, I've worked with mostly
There's the
men.
twin.
All right, guys,
That's the
let's
twin.
go one at a time. Let's go, David, and then Amy.
Lizard twins.
So yeah, the reason why you feel like, oh, you guys are being rude and stuff like that, because there's not anything, a molecule in my veins, in my bones that wants to smash you. But the type of guys you're used to is blue pill guys that say anything to you and pander to you when they see you. Oh, you're gorgeous. You got this and this, the blonde hair, da 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 da. They're gonna pander to you. So you're used to guys acquiescing their behaviors to get inside your drawers.
Amy,
I'm not acquiescing.
do
nothing.
any guys ever do that? You don't think guys ever gaslight
No,
women?
oh, of course, but here's the
Oh,
thing. I was in the
most
military.
guys.
Let me just tell you, I was in the military for 16 years. Okay, I got treated like absolute shit most of my career.
As you should. You're in the military. The men get treated that way too.
Okay, and I promise you, there were so many men that were incredible instructors that had no intent of doing anything more with me than being an instructor. That's it. You want to talk about leading? Then lead by example and
Every fucking one of them, just about. Not, there might be a few Christians in there, but I'll bet you most of those guys, if she would have touched him on the arm and said, "Hey, would you like to come over to my house tonight?" They'd have been there. They'd have been there.
give information to women that you're trying to educate or whatever, but do it in an instructional fashion where you're not being off-putting. Do you want to have a war with?
Lead me in a way I want to be led. This is like from The Office. This is Ryan from The Office. Lead me, but in a way I want to be led by. Like what the fuck?
With women? Do you want to be disrespectful to women? Do you want us to not like you? Like, I don't know what your intent is
No,
when
need
you're coming
guidance. That's what I
across.
said in the beginning
But
of
the
the
guidance,
podcast.
guidance comes from a good, kind place.
Let me ask
and
you-
when, hold on.
Before you- okay,
Guidance
go ahead.
comes from a good, kind place. And when it's done in a demeaning fashion, where it's down, like
I wonder if Bill Belichick's leadership is all kind and sweet and cuddly like she's talking. I think he yells at him quite a bit. I think he yells at him every minute of the day. And he's considered a very good leader because he gets his men to do what they're supposed to do. And I got a feeling they can't get you to do that because you're a lady in the military.
talking down and being disrespectful and rude, there's never going to be a point where we're meeting in the middle and like I'm even open to receiving the information because it's disrespectful. It's off-putting. And,
Did you have a father in your life?
absolutely, I have a
Your
great
father-
That was
relationship
a
with my
really
dad.
fucked up question.
It's a demographic question, shithead. Shut up.
No, you can
I have
ask that.
great-
What,
I have a
it's a
great
demographic
relationship with
question.
my dad.
Why would that be?
But it's a
bad?
demographic
Idiots.
question. You could ask. My dad died when I was in 2006. It's not. It's a demographic question.
I have a great relationship
But
with
here's
my
the thing.
dad.
No, I know where you're coming from. But the thing is, you think that he's accusing her of being thinking this way because she didn't have a dad. But that's the point. You should be able to ask the question first.
But just the fact that you're even saying those words out loud, you're making an assumption.
No. It isn't.
making any
It's
assumptions.
So this
I
is
would actually
this is
love to hear what you're gonna say.
Imagine if she said,
He's trying to see because she sounds like she didn't have a dad in her life. That's why he's asking the question, dummy.
to you, like, what do you have, a mother? What do you have, a sister? Are you married?
say
but
that.
he didn't do his neck like that.
He didn't do any of that. He didn't go, "Psst, you got a mother?" He didn't do that. He said, "Is your father in your life?" That's a simple question.
Like that's the
trying
thing.
to argue.
You're putting emotion in a dispassionate question that he had right there. You can ask the question.
Okay, so
right?
she said to him, "Oh, are you married? Do you have a mother?"
Yeah, but that's not. How is that offensive?
Oh, no.
I
Offended
wouldn't
by
give
the
a fuck.
question.
So
Let me clutch my pearls. Oh no. So
Ask me if I'm
you
married.
serious?
No, of course not.
You don't find that offensive?
I would
If someone
I
asks
would
me if I have a
never-
mother, why would I care?
Well, considering the topic of conversation and where we are, I think that's really
I just
offensive.
think he was said
I would just say no. On my planet, we don't do it that way.
way into the next part of his thing, but
Yeah.
I understand where
Me
they're
personally,
coming
I
off
wasn't
that.
I
offended.
choose to not be offended. There's a great book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I choose to not give a fuck if somebody says something and then later on judge them based on the content of their character. Like initially when I'm sitting there talking to somebody, they may say, man, I thought that dude might have been insulting, but I'm just going to chill and like hang out for a while. And then next thing I know, me and Andrew are friends. You see how it works? You just kind of chill out and listen. And then you find out that nobody here has any like animosity. I promise you these two guys aren't going to take anything you say personally.
Yeah,
Nothing.
And
Trust
let me explain why I
So the
asked
reason this
Go ahead,
happened, just so you know, is because you're engaged in a meta conversation. You're having a conversation about the conversation.
They're not going to know what that is. They're not going to have any idea. It's going to confuse the shit out of them every time he brings it up. Watch.
I don't care about the conversation. I care about the conversation. So don't care if it sounds bad or it sounds mean or it sounds rude or there's nothing I'm saying which is untoward. I'm just looking at the conversation itself. That's
But I
it.
disagree with that because you're doing it while also like mimicking
You're
the
still
girl.
having a meta conversation.
Nope. You're disrespectful to the girls when you're making fun of their voices.
That's still a meta
not,
conversation.
No, I'm sorry, but it's nothing to
All this tone policing is a meta conversation because you're talking about the conversation itself. You're not talking about what he's saying. You're talking about the way he's saying it. And that's all meta. That's all like fourth wall shit.
do with the topic. You are
What is the
You are
topic?
moving away from the
What
topic.
is the topic?
Well, right now,
Right now, it's the meta conversation is the topic. And I'm not interested in the meta conversation. I'm interested in the
I'm
topic.
going to be interested about nothing you have to say while you're being disrespectful.
There's nothing
Going back
disrespectful
to our
meta
conversation, you're
So I can take offense at anything. So anything you say can be offensive. So I'll just shut you down at any time. That's what it's like dealing with women in the workplace.
question to me was, did I have a
Fucking-
great relationship with my dad? I did. I have an
Yeah.
amazing relationship with my father. He lives in England. I go see him all the time. I grew up with him. He was an incredible father.
Okay, he lives in England. You go see him all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you were about to do something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
You-
so
you were
the
saying
reason why I asked that question is because, I mean, I do a podcast where I bring on, 6 to 8 girls a night. And what I've observed, I'm not talking about you, but what I've observed with speaking with many, many women is that they lack the ability to digest a man's love, right? And that man's love first comes from a father. So it may seem rude that the way I'm speaking and the way I'm conveying myself to you may seem rude and I'm attacking you, but I'm not attacking you. I got nothing but love for y'all. So that's why I asked that question.
Cool is a well thought out guy. I like the way he talks.
Well, I think you're actually being a lot more like, I think once we kind of got to a good working rhythm,
They're going to have some issues with the way he talks later because he uses a lot of slang and it just hits their ears wrong. But he's not saying anything. It's just the way he talks and they can't fucking get past it. So they're going to have some issues with him in a little bit. But
like we're fine now. Like
Yeah.
I feel like the way you talk is very respectful. So I'm good. I'm good with us.
Ava,
We'll see.
I have asked that question on several occasions. Like, do you have brothers? Do you have a father? It wasn't,
Hey,
it
I
wasn't-
don't think demographic questions are
Yeah.
like that. But if he had said, "Hey, you're acting like you don't have a father," that would be offensive. Because then there's
and who cares? So what? You're on a podcast. Offend away. Anyone who's going to get offended and not be your friend now because you said a mean thing on a podcast, fuck them. Fuck them.
additional context.
Totally, but just even asking the question is the thought and the assumption.
You got to be able.
is
You got to be
there.
able to ask questions. Now, going back to what Andrew said, he was talking about content and context. Andrew is interested in the content of the discussion. This is data moving across like a fiber optic cable. There's no emotion. You guys are interested in the context of the conversation, and in doing so, we never get anywhere because we're having a conversation about the conversation.
Right, it's a meta conversation.
Yes, exactly. Miranda, you were going to say something, to Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew, do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
I do.
What's your relationship with your mom like?
I'll be respectful and not ask it. I'll not
You want to
ask.
ask me?
Well, I was going to ask when his last relationship was and how that ended.
He's married, right?
He's married.
Married for a
got
long
one.
time, girl.
Yeah, he's got a good one at home.
Okay.
Yes.
She did her research.
Yeah.
Takes
Well,
care
that's
of
why
him.
I was wondering because
Brings
it
him
felt,
coffee
it
and
felt
cigarettes.
like I just don't understand like
I'm
where
an incel, right?
that wasn't an
And I
assumption.
hate my mama.
No, well,
I want you to look at the lizard girl. Look at the hatred in her eyes right now. This is going to build up as we go. And I don't even know why she's mad. He's ignoring the shit out of her for the most part, but something has got her triggered about him. And her sister's the same way. They're both staring at him like this. She's across the table, so you can't see it. But these two fucking weirdo twins stare at him like this the entire podcast.
what I was feeling from the way that you are speaking is that there's some kind of like hatred towards women. That's where it feels like there's a lot of angst behind the words that you're saying. And that's simply why I wanted to ask
So-
the question. I was
Sure.
Yeah,
thinking
so-
in my head that it was possible.
So let me respond.
Let me ask you, if you hate gold diggers and you hate, fat entitled women who think they're beautiful, does that make you a misogynist? Or does that just make you a realist? Like, those people are awful. You should not like them. You should think poorly of them. Why are we forced to think to be nice to these girls who are awful? Otherwise, they're going to say, oh, you hate all women. I don't hate all women. I hate the gross ones. I hate the fat, nasty ones that think they're beautiful. I hate the ones we see on these podcasts. I can't stand them. The OnlyFans girls, the prostitutes. Yeah, we can't stand you. And why do we have to pretend like we do? That's my question. Why?
that you had
Just
a
so you know,
bad
so-
interaction.
From my perspective, okay, I do aggressive, high-level online debates with some of the most brutal personalities you can imagine, and I beat them. The thing is like
particularly from South
all,
America.
all I'm looking at, all I'm looking at here. That's not disrespectful.
I mean, I wouldn't do that. I
All
didn't
right,
do
that's
that.
not disrespectful.
I wouldn't do that.
Just what I do.
Loretta.
is
You didn't-
disrespectful.
Now, he's ignored her the entire episode. You can see. And they do shit like that. They'll do little jabs at him. And then when he returns it, they'll be like, oh, they're cry bullies. They're literal cry bullies. You can watch them. They'll say little jabs and talk shit about him. And then when he turns his attention to them, they're like, hey, what are you doing? They're like a little poor angel then. But you were just talking shit about him.
He's really good. I would
You didn't see
Anyway,
me do it.
the
You
seal
didn't,
clap.
you didn't see me
So
do
anyway,
it.
what I'm saying is that for me, I'm not looking for this is my meta-analysis. This is what I think about what I think. This is what I think about the conversation that we're having. I'm just interested in actually what the conversation is, so we can just get into it.
Andrew only cares about the ideas. And how he says them and gets them out there is nobody's business but his. If he feels like saying it in a rude way, that's his business. That's how he gets his message across. And these women hate it because he's so effective at it.
I
And then we can
agree.
figure out what's going on.
But while you're telling me you're not interested in the conversation about
Don't
the
tell me how
conversation,
you feel right now,
I'm not
please.
telling you how I feel. I'm telling you exactly what you did. You distracted from the topic of the conversation
making you
when
feel bad?
when you degraded the woman that you
I
were
didn't
speaking
degrade
to.
anybody. It
You
just made
did.
you feel bad because that's how you felt.
No, you made fun of someone.
Who?
All the women at the table, by the
When?
way, several times throughout this
ahead
conversation.
and name
Roll
one of
the
the
tape.
insults.
When you were saying, when you were mimicking their voice,
After the one insulted me?
you did it multiple times,
After
not just
they
then.
insulted me?
You did it
So,
multiple times.
After I was insulted.
Okay,
It's
well
just
then
the
just say
tone
that.
behind it. Like,
You don't really-
Well, just say the thing that happened in front of all of us then. Fine. What's your fucking point?
Okay, so
guys
you're
just gotta say
sensitive.
it.
Is that what you're saying?
No,
So
I'm
you're
saying
really
if you,
sensitive.
why is it, if
I
you
never
hit,
said
I
we
hit
could
back,
insult you.
that's on me,
No,
not
no,
on
no.
you.
I never said we could insult you. I just said
Right.
I wouldn't do that. Respectfully, I wouldn't do
Sorry,
that.
every time I open my mouth, I can see like little beeps, like his eyes twitch, like he wants to like say something.
All
All right, Joy, give me the screen again, Joy.
Well, actually, I'm gonna say the reason why.
Go ahead, Loretta.
The reason
finish.
why I did that in the beginning is because the moment we sat down, he stared down at me for like 20 seconds when he had an issue with the volume of the microphone, and he was disrespectful to me from the jump. You can.
By looking at her. He looked at her because they were having issues with her microphone. So the attention was on that microphone. So I don't think he was even looking at you. He's probably looking at the faulty microphone they were working on, you stupid bitch. You and your sister are staring at him like you want to eat his soul because he was looking at you while they were working on your microphone.
You can disagree with me all you want, but
What the
you
hell
can't.
are you talking about?
Okay, but you're so in your head that you don't even see reality. and how you
Loretta,
treat
Loretta,
people at the
I
table.
don't know why
It's
he'd
the
be
opposite.
staring at you for
He was
20
like
seconds.
this.
But
Is it because you look like an alien lizard lady? I'm staring at you too.
Why? Like why? Like could it be the fact that he's a Cowboys fan and he's looking at the thing behind you?
Absolutely
Like
not. He
there
was
could be
so
some
dead
other
in my
reason.
eyes.
I'm having
Everyone's looking at me.
for 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Okay, I don't know.
The entire time that the guy was under this thing fixing the volume, and he was like,
Right. The entire time, all the attention was on the microphone sitting right in front of you. The guy who's right across from you was looking at you, not at the guy working on the microphone. You behind the guy working on the microphone. That's how delusional these dumbasses are.
you know, being like. It's so
Sometimes
high,
we're
so
just
the entire
staring
time
in
he
a
was like
direct.
this.
Sometimes we're just staring in a direction. You know.
Yeah.
No, it was very maybe.
Back to
it
your
was-
corners,
wait.
everybody. Go back to your corners. We got another
It was
video.
very aggressive.
Okay, let's watch this.
Here we go.
It was aggressive.
God, why?
Then I sat up my chair.
My husband cheated on me. I'm
You shut the fuck up,
princess,
lady.
is he a good provider? Yes. Does he take good care of you? Yes. You ever disrespect you, raise his hand, and you know. Outside of this cheating, is he what you need in a man? Yes, he is. Was this thing purely sexual? Was it a hit and miss? Or is he really feeling this woman? If she tells me this was a hit and miss, go have a conversation with him about his infidelity. Let him know you do not like it. I will never tell you not to leave a man because he cheated. You want to leave him because he cheated? Go ahead and do it. But I want to ask you a question. How many men you expect to find out there who are never going to go outside that marriage at least occasionally to experience another woman?
Tons. If you're getting it good at home, you don't need to go anywhere. I'm a strong believer that if you have a happy sex life with the person you're with, you don't need to be fucking other people. And if you get a cool one, hey, sometimes they'll bring girls home with them. But that's a rare occasion. But yeah, like you don't need to fucking put up with dudes cheating. Just like you don't need to put up with a woman cheating. Anybody that can't keep it in their pants, get rid of them. Fuck them.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's not realistic to leave a good man for an oops.
Don't even look at me like that.
I was staring at you for 20 seconds.
No, I said that.
I'm so angry.
It's real
So Jesse
ridiculous.
sent this to
Funny
me.
because it's true.
This is beautiful. Jesse said this to me. It's
Good
beautiful.
segue.
Okay, ready? So what question you want to ask here?
No, I was just saying.
Jesse, what do you think? You're the one who sent this to
You're
me.
the one that sent it to us.
I didn't send it to you because I'm in agreement of it.
So you don't agree with it?
It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, he said if you still want to leave, you can, but he's asking you to ask the question.
No, he's saying to his daughter, listen, if your man pays the bills and doesn't disrespect, what do you mean doesn't disrespect me? He cheated on me. Well, if the man's good to you, what do you mean good to me? He cheated on you. Well, if the man's loyal, he wasn't loyal. He cheated.
He's saying in every other way. In every other way, if he takes care of you, he pays the bills. He's a good husband. He takes the kids to church. He does all the other shit. Is what he's trying to say. And I get what he's saying. I just don't think you should. Like I kind of agree with the hoe here.
Cheated on you. He's contradicting himself with every bulletin point that he makes, and then also backhanded telling her, well, if you want to leave him, you can, but it's kind of silly to do that because it was an oops moment.
It is kind of silly for the women though, because he kind of has a little bit of a point here. Yeah, a lot of guys just don't want to put up with your shit anymore. And I tell my married friends, they're always complaining about their wives and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you don't know how fucking crazy it is out there. It is definitely cheaper to keep her. And it is definitely a shit show out here right now. They're all fucking nuts. So I tell my friends to just put up with anything short of cheating, put up with it. If they're just a bitch or lazy or whatever, just be a bitch and lazy back to them, whatever. But don't fucking go try to find, if they're letting you have sex, keep them, unless they're cheat.
There's so much that goes into cheating, the sneaking, the lying.
Actually, I think
all
there's
that
very
shit.
little that goes into cheating for men and a whole lot that goes into cheating for women. I think cheating
Absolutely.
for women
Is
is,
that
a
the debate now? Are we
extremely
changing the topic?
sophisticated and complicated thing.
Are we
no,
changing
go,
the topic?
finish your topic. Finish your
But the
point.
point is that I don't agree with what he is saying, and it's almost laughable that this is circulating through the internet and that people are like, yeah, absolutely, men can't help themselves. You need to forgive your husband if he steps out once in a while. What?
Got it. Okay. Miranda, what do you think?
Notice how I disagreed with the guy too. Like just on principle, I think if anyone cheats, you get rid of them. But I don't have to go into this whole thing she does. I disagree. She takes it personally. And I don't understand that.
Oh, I was really hoping that this wouldn't come up because I'm very weird in my current relationship. It's open, but
You're in a
not
situationship?
open. No, I'm in a legitimate relationship.
It's open on his end and not on your end?
It's open on both ends, and
Okay.
honestly, I'm probably
So you're single.
the one who lets him do more of what he wants to do
Okay.
versus because he's more monogamous, and I am more just like I just don't care what he does as long as he's safe. But he just chooses not to do that. And I know it's a very
But I don't know if that's
perspective.
cheating though, because you know about it.
Well, what do you mean by cheating?
Like he would tell you, I'm not going to have sexual intercourse with other women, and then does so behind your back. That would be cheating. You in an open relationship where the two of you make the decision to go ahead and have sex with someone else, that as long as you both know about it, I don't know that that's cheating.
Yeah, okay, I understand your point there. So
this bitch tells him he can go out with other women, and then when he does, she calls him a cheater. Okay.
I feel like with the cheating, I feel
not
like
cheating.
it's different when there is
It's not cheating. You're single. You're both single. You're friends with benefits. That's all.
there is deception,
Okay.
and there is a bunch of lying. Like, say, the reason why it's an issue is because when there could have been a conversation and there could have been communication, there was obviously a lapse in that, and then there was a moment in time where they felt like they didn't respect you enough to actually have that conversation with you, to share with you, hey, I'm having this urge, I want to do this, or I'm not feeling satisfied sexually by you. Maybe you haven't slept with him in 3 weeks because you're, I don't know.
Well, then fuck you then. You haven't slept with him in 3 weeks. Then that's your fault. It's not even cheating at that point.
Sick, or you're going through
if you were
something.
in a monogamous relationship and the guy you were with cheated on you, came to you, told you about it, it was like a one-time thing, would you leave him?
I don't just cut things off just because.
Okay.
I like to listen, to understand, and I always place myself in that individual's shoes first before
I throw people in the trash where they belong. If you cheat on me, you're trash, and I'm done with you. These women are mental.
I make my decision.
Got it. And remember, that individual probably has 17 times as much testosterone as you.
And that's exactly why
Okay.
I choose to be in a semi-open relationship,
Got it.
because I understand how men are. And I feel like when you allow them to have that space and that ability, and I'm not wagging my finger, you better not cheat on me, blah, blah, blah. You
That's
know what I
very
mean? When you're
enlightened,
not
Miranda.
giving-
So you let them, and then you criticize them on a podcast for doing the thing you told them you could do. That's fucking retarded, lady.
when you're not giving that nasty, negative, nagging energy, it makes them actually respect you more and want to not cheat on you. And they're more likely to communicate with you on their urges and things like that.
Andrew says,
I know it's an
waiting for
interesting
this one.
perspective. Go ahead and
I
chime
actually
in
really
if
want to
you
hear his
Yeah.
stance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear him actually say the words marriage. Is he talking about marriage?
Yeah, his daughter,
husband.
yeah, hypothetically.
If I had a daughter and
if I had
came
a
to me.
daughter and she was married, and this is what she came to me with.
Yeah, so no, there's no justification. Well, there can be justification, I guess, internalized justification. And from the prism of the Christian worldview, no, you're not allowed to
If he's a good daddy, he'd beat the shit out of him anyway. Just on principle.
step out on your wife. Now, you can reconcile those things. So it's possible that one of the partners makes a mistake in the marriage. You can get help from the church, things like this, so that you can reconcile the relationship. But I don't think it should be expected inside of a marriage for either partner to step out. I don't think it's okay for a woman, for instance, to withhold sex for her husband and not have the expectation that he might do that.
Exactly.
But that aside, no, I don't think at all that it's reasonable inside of a covenant marriage to step out. I mean, that defeats the purpose of the marriage.
Nice. What do you think, Ava?
I actually agree with you, minus all the.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up!
Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally.
I'm saying something nice to you. I'm actually saying
I was take a joke, lady. I'm kidding. Relax.
Okay, that's complete narcissism. Don't do something to her and have her respond and then tell her to stop.
Can you just
That's
let me
complete
answer the fucking
gaslighting. Like, you need to
question?
chill.
Go for it.
Calm down. Holy shit.
She just did the same shit with the little golf clap thing. So you could poke him all night long if he does anything back, even a joke where he says, I'm joking. That's too much for these stupid twins. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
No, that's my
Tough room.
sister. Don't
Tough room.
Okay, what
disrespect
I
her.
was saying,
Good
what
to
I was
see.
saying
That's
before
it.
you interrupted me was that I agree with you, minus the religious stuff.
Oh. Well, what's the justification absent religion to not cheat?
Because some people believe in it and some people don't.
No. I'm asking what the justification absent religion would be not
For
to
cheating.
For cheating.
For not cheating. I'm sorry. What's the justification for not cheating?
For not cheating, absent religion, what would the
The morality that
justification
religion gives you. What's the reason why?
I don't know. That's just the way it's like. Always
You don't
been,
understand
I
the
guess.
question.
I'm not. I don't. I don't. I'm not really sure how to answer that question.
Okay.
Because she doesn't
My
understand
parents
it.
been married forever. Like I come from like a very
Poor guy.
loving, amazing family. So I'm
So you think it's
bet.
values that your parents imparted into you? That's why it feels wrong.
yes, absolutely.
There you go. So,
Absolutely.
Where did those values come from?
Absolutely.
Where
do you
do,
mean?
where do you think those values came from?
My parents?
Yeah, where do you think those values came from?
Where did they get them?
I think he's
Probably
leading you to
their
your dad.
parents.
I'm leading you to religion.
Right.
Yeah.
The values, the reason that your
Okay,
parents probably
but
held
there's
those.
a lot of people don't talk about religion and politics because it can be a very sensitive subject for people. So you can believe in not cheating on someone and not be Catholic.
No, listen.
I-
We understand that.
We're not even
So-
disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, your parents likely believed that it's no good for one to step out on the other, because they have these intrinsic values which came up cross-generationally from the core religious tenets that they were surrounded with. That's what their environment was based around. Their parents' environment was based around that. That's what he's saying. He's just saying it kind of crosses the bridge, but they all come back to a moral religious foundation. That's the point.
I just gotta
Okay,
say,
cool.
Andrew, now I'm listening because now you're spitting facts and like you're being approachable. I'm listening.
Now you're approachable. When you say shit I agree with, you're approachable. Whenever you say shit I disagree with, you're an asshole. Stop it.
Now. This is
Amazing,
awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
there you go. They all want Andrew now. Go ahead, Allie.
I will say
I mean, if you had
personally-
just been nice, you
just
know?
Like that.
But you were such a bitch.
Table, Andrew. I'm taking
sorry.
my nice comment right back.
Go ahead, Allie.
All right. I think that personally, humans are flawed. So
Grab the mic. Come a little close to it. Just grab it. Pull it. Bring
this
it to
one?
you. Yeah.
Are we good? Wait.
You
we're
can just
good?
grab the
Hello?
base and bring it to you.
This?
There you go.
We're close enough? Is
There
that
you go.
better?
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. I think humans are all flawed, and a lot of it's situational, and it depends on you and your partner. But personally, I think that I would give my partner grace, and as long as things are communicated and we figure things out, and there's not an established pattern of behavior happening, I think that an oops is not acceptable, but you can work through it.
Okay, Loretta.
I agree with her.
Okay.
And I agree with Ava too.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't leave your dude. Let me ask you something, ladies. Do you think it's more repairable if a man cheats or if a woman cheats? Who thinks it's more repairable if a man cheats? Anybody? Yeah. Men, I mean, so what we found is that when men cheat, this Dr. Buzz did a study, or he referenced a study about 8 out of 10 times when a woman cheats, she falls in love with her affair partner. For men, it's about 2 or 3 out of 10 times. It's much less likely. So I see what you're saying there. And then, what do you think?
Yeah, the basis of that video, because I missed a little bit of the beginning of
Yep.
it. It was basically he was talking about his daughter and her being married, and if the man cheated, he's advising the daughter to still stay with the man. Of course, because if you don't, you increase your body count and you lower your value. So why not? That's what I would say. I also agree with his point as well. If we're talking about in the context of marriage and stuff like that, yeah, it's definitely negative. We're not promoting promiscuity
For
in
sure.
men or anything, but yeah, women shouldn't leave that relationship because
But how would it not be a promotion
It is. It's
if you're saying there's no consequence to this?
yeah.
There's no consequence. So if you step out, your advice is, hey, stay in the marriage. After all, he's a pretty good guy, right? Or this type of thing. There's no negative consequence for him to do that. Isn't it kind of the promotion of promiscuity at that
No,
point?
I didn't say that there's no negative consequence for it. So you're saying pretty much that the negative consequence for that would be her leaving, right? I'm
Or
saying
something.
that, well, but guess what? I'm saying that a more negative consequence would be for her because she increases her body count, which lowers her value. And not only that, then she has to go back into the dating market and try to find a more valuable man. But in generally speaking,
And so
most men
does
are
he.
only as faithful as their
I agree with Cooley in principle here. The dating market for women, I can see what it is doing to them. It is destroying them. So, yeah, it is difficult to tell a woman that she needs to go back to the dating market and turn herself into one of these creatures. But, oh, dude, I couldn't. I'm a vindictive motherfucker, right? Very, very vindictive. If I catch you doing something, I'm going to get you back. Tenfold. Tenfold. I'll probably fuck your mom or something. I will piss you off. I do not take that kind of shit. So, yeah, I would have to get rid of them, or I would have to just destroy them in some fucking kind of way. If you cheat on me, we're enemies. You're not my girlfriend no more. You're the devil, and I'm coming for you.
Options, right? So it's like, yeah, like I have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
So I would tell my daughter the same exact thing, but I would say, well, hey, well, one, you want to pick
I would tell my daughter to find out what time he gets off work at night. And is it very dark where he comes out from work? I would find that out.
a righteous man. So you want to pick a man. It's all about the man that you choose, right? So you want to pick a man with characteristic traits that follow Christ, right? And his morality supersedes his nature, right? Because men will indulge in the nature. That's why the generality is that most men is only a space for their options, because men tend to seek their nature, just like women tend to go with their nature, which is hypergamous. So yeah, in the context of what you're talking about, it's not going to benefit the woman, right? So that's not promoting what the man is doing. It's just saying that if I'm giving my daughter advice, because we're not talking about the man advice, the daughter advice. So my daughter advice, I wouldn't advise her to leave her husband.
If that's true, then what would the consequence to him be? For
Oh,
this
so you're
immoral
looking
action?
for a consequence
Yeah.
for his actions.
If I was giving the husband advice, it would be keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel.
Well, it's tough. I mean, if we're
well, I mean,
I
honestly,
have a
Wait,
question.
wait, wait,
I have an answer for that, actually.
Go ahead.
I mean, the consequence under that is very simple. So you got two types of men. Not even two types. Let's just say a man that follows Christ and God, because that's what we're talking about, right? So there is a consequence. We know about the consequence. The consequence is in the Bible, right? So we know about these things. That meant he needs to repent from his sins, or we know where he goes. So he does have a consequence.
what if he's not religious?
Me and you both know where he goes.
Yeah, right. But what's the
It doesn't matter
But
what
what's the
he knows.
material
He was going there anyway, remember?
consequence for the immoral action? If you're saying,
I'm
look,
talking
if
about
you step
there's a
out,
spiritual
is this a proponent for divorce? I don't understand. Like what
it's
do you-
not a
He
proponent.
said he's not
What I'm
promoting
trying to
it,
say
and he's
is-
saying
No,
it
no, no,
is.
no, no. My question is,
promoting.
I want to know what Andrew's hypothetical punishment for the man would be. I'm just curious, genuinely curious.
Well, so in this case, I think that you could have church chastisement, but
Okay,
more importantly,
okay.
what that means is community chastisement.
Got it.
You are not allowed to fuck around on your wife, right? Or brother kicks your ass, dad kicks your ass.
Thank you.
Right?
Okay.
You get, the community used to kind of keep these people in line. They used to kind of keep the enforcement protocol. This is a big problem with male and female dynamics now that I see, is that there's no community backing this up. That's why I think covenant marriage is far superior to state marriage, because it gives you access to that community. It gives you access to a whole new set of ecclesiastical law, which is way better to deal with the interpersonal dynamics between men and women inside marriage. They've been doing it for 2,000 years, right?
Michael and I were
So
just
the-
talking about this earlier about how in the military, Uniform Code of Military Justice,
Yeah,
you actually get kicked out of the military or
You can go to jail.
There's a consequence.
You go to
there's a
jail, yeah.
consequence,
Though
if you cheat on your
fraternization
wife.
happens there far more than
Yeah.
is, and it's all about who you know, right?
Right.
But the point
Yeah.
is like, yeah, I think there has to be a consequence to him too. Otherwise, I don't understand how it's not a promotion to say, look, he was at an office party, he screwed some chick who was there.
Well, the
Nothing
thing is,
happens
men
to him,
need
right?
Well, men need to enforce, those consequences.
Yes.
So then that's a different story. So
Yes.
yeah. And your prescription of what you said, having the church back up the consequences and stuff like that, or having your brother, your uncle, your father, give consequences.
Yeah, I'm not saying
a
in the
situation
marriage
like that.
necessarily.
Yeah. Okay.
But make it to where he really would prefer to not do that again.
Yeah.
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
the big elephant in the room too, though,
Eating through a straw for a couple of weeks will do that for you.
is like the damage it does to the relationship between the husband and the wife, right? You're chipping away at trust. You're chipping away at loyalty. You're chipping away at the leadership that you so desire.
Yeah, but I want to see it on both ends too. So I want
100%.
to see women also. So what happens right now, because it's all state endorsed marriage, is that men are getting fucked bad by when women leave. I mean, they almost universally win. I think under any type of ecclesiastical authority, it's going to be far better for men and women, because the church isn't going to be like, okay, yeah, take half his shit, and here's alimony, and here's everything else. They're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see it on both ends. You know what I mean?
Alice, what do you think?
I think so. I am not in monogamous relationship. So I think I don't know how much I can say about the topic. Anyway, I think there are like two aspects to cheating.
Yeah.
First one is the actual act of a man having sex with another woman, and the second part is the fact that he lied to you. So if you are in a monogamous relationship, you guys had you guys kind of had this
An agreement.
that we're not like fucking with anybody else, basically. So he lied to you, and he wasn't like truthful to the agreement. He wasn't truthful to you. So yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just, go ahead.
Sorry. I kind of lost my thought.
I'm sorry. It occurred to me. I wanted to ask this
I
follow-up.
was sure that you're gonna say
So
something.
if you were actually in that situation, and this happened with your daughter, right? Would you go in and lay that guy out?
Well, if you're talking personally, right?
Yeah.
So me, in the way I'm handling my daughter, because I do have a daughter, well, I'm going to be very old-fashioned. I'm going to choose the man that she marries, right? So that means I'm going to have a very high stake in that man. So I'm probably going to know that man better than she knows that man, right? That's going to be my job. So within that, me and that man is going to have a relationship, right? And a tight relationship.
So he's getting knocked out.
Well. It's not about a
Just say he's getting
knockout.
knocked out.
It's not about a knockout, but he will feel some force of action. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah,
So
it's totally fair.
So that's why I agreed with what you said. I didn't disagree with that. But when we're speaking about the context of the conversation was talking about the woman, you flipped it over to the man. So we were just talking at two different angles. Because I was saying that the woman, she would, well, why would, like, if she leaves, it's like, okay, there's no benefit really for her leaving. She got to start all over. Now, say if that dude was, we already know, I mean, Rolo speaks about it a lot, like women tend to get alpha widowed. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if he just happens to be top G, you know what I'm saying? And then she leaves that dude. Dang, now she's really not going to be able to find another guy. She'll never be satisfied. So then she's going to be yearning for what she used to have, and then she just left that relationship. So she's never going to be happy. And also her value decreased, not only just to the world, but to her.
Yeah, I think that presupposes a lot of things, though, that I'm not necessarily willing to grant. So I'm not sure that it presupposes that she has the top dog. I'm not sure that, I would engage with a presupposition that these aren't just kind of normal people, right? Maybe this guy's just a mechanic.
You can say that as normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good. It was just a good-looking chick. It was a one-time fling. I'm not saying you have to destroy the entire marriage. In fact, you shouldn't. You should do everything you can to work on it, right? You should do everything you can to reconcile it before you make that.
I say you make it so miserable for them after you catch them that they leave on their own. That's the best way.
kind of extra step, right? Because you're right. It'll destroy the whole family.
Yeah.
It'll destroy kids. It'll destroy the woman. It'll destroy everything. I'm just saying that absent consequence, you definitely create an incentive for her and him. So I'm like, look, for her, it's really hard to tailor consequences to women in modernity. But the one thing we do know is it's not hard to tailor consequences to men, right?
It's not.
Well, I would say the man does, generally speaking. I would say the man would feel some type of consequences because women are neurotic creatures, so they feel more negative emotion than men. That means that she's going to be giving him problems in that relationship if he cheats. Emotional. She's going to be draining all her emotions on that man. We all know that happens. So the fact that you're saying that he doesn't experience any consequences, well,
I don't understand what he's saying. They do that anyway. Like, that's just normal.
I would say that usually when a man lies to a woman and he cheats on that woman, and that woman happens to stay, she's bringing that up forever. So he will feel consequences to the end of time.
Your eyes have a look, and there's
So that was the end of that video. Let's go on to the first video.
And so this is what I mean by men having to control their emotions. That's part of the virtue of temperance. So
Here's thank you for the $50. With 3 military veterans at the table tonight, can I ask everyone's opinion on equalizing the military draft to include registering 18-plus-year-old women? Also, for the Alex fans, Andrew, please don't obfuscate. Love you, Percival, Commander-in-Chief. Vets, what do you think?
Yes, women should be drafted. And if you don't know this already, other countries are already requiring 2 years. Italy is an example of that.
Finland is like that.
Yeah.
Israel is like that.
Yes, women should be in the military draft if there's one.
I agree with everything she just said, but I disagree with every reason she thinks that. She thinks that because she thinks they're capable enough to be in the military. I think that because they need consequences for their fucking actions. Big difference.
Okay. Anybody else?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
At the very least, they should be held to the same standards of selective
I
service.
totally disagree.
Okay, what do you think?
I don't think that women should vote or should be drafted.
that.
So I would remove the responsibility arc from women. when it comes to voting and when it comes to being drafted. I think that the military is far better with women in support roles. I think that law enforcement's far better with women in support roles and not in primary roles. So no, I completely disagree.
See, this is where me and Andrew part ways a little bit. I think we should give them a choice. And then if they choose to fucking enter the draft, well, then they can vote. I think most of them won't, and we'll still get better results in our elections because I think his is pie in the sky. They're never just going to say, we're taking this away from women and you get nothing. They're not going to do that. But if you give them the option and say, we're just making this equal for y'all, if you want to vote, then you got to register for the draft just like the boys do. I think that's something that can get done. I don't think his can get done. I just don't see the will for that. I don't see enough men sticking together and doing what's right. I just don't think it's going to happen. Too many feminist guys in politics. So my plan is actually has a chance of happening. His does not. They're not going to ever do that, which I wish they would. His way would be better ultimately, but my way is a way that gets us what we want, and it's got a possibility of happening.
I would eliminate the draft for women, but I'd also eliminate some other things like voting and some other things like that.
I got to tell you just one critical position that a woman played in Afghanistan in the middle of a war zone in a way that a man could never. And that is during the day in many villages in Afghanistan, the men go away to work, which leaves behind villages full of women and kids by themselves. Okay.
Just
and
like
what happens is you need a woman to go into those spaces in the middle of a war zone to go have conversations with those women for intel purposes, General McChrystal, winning hearts and minds, you name it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's religious reasons that men cannot speak to those women. You need women that can be on the front lines. You need women to do those jobs.
So that's still a support role.
It is not.
It is.
My friend, it is not. I was part of an 8-woman female engagement team. I promise you, nothing about my job was a support role.
So
here comes the resume.
Let me ask you a question, like honest question. Are the standards in the United States Army for women and their physical readiness and fitness less than that of men in combat roles?
Okay, so
Yes.
Believe me, I've been debating this since I was 17 years old. I'm happy
Good for
to
you.
talk to you about this. Yes, to answer your
Are-
question.
is there
Hold
a
on, wait.
I just want to finish this one point.
Okay.
Is there a single female Navy SEAL?
Oh, yeah, there is actually.
is.
Yeah.
I thought there was one female ranger. Is there a
Yeah.
female
Oh, there's
SEAL?
multiple female rangers as well.
I wasn't aware that there was a female
Kristen
SEAL.
Grice is one of them.
Whoo, one. That means y'all should be there. No, my plan, you're going to be in support roles. You're going to be making the sandwiches you should be doing right now for your husband. You're going to go make it for the fucking guys. When you get drafted, it's not going to be good. You're going to have to do demeaning shit because you're not going to be getting shot at. So you're going to have to just be what you should be now to your husband.
She's a female Navy SEAL?
I wasn't worried about a SEAL, but I know about a ranger.
Oh, no, sorry, I cannot name any off the top of my head, but that is not because there's not. There definitely is.
I don't think there's a single female Navy SEAL that's actually gone through basic underwater.
I think they look it up and they did have one since Andrew learned that statistic. I think there is one and they find out who she is and they can't get her name because some weird thing. That's later and I don't think it's on this clip, but we'll see.
Demolition school and passed it.
Okay, well, hold on a second, because now we're getting into women even being allowed to even try. Okay,
They're allowed to try.
Okay, but I know the dates and timelines on this shit. So 2016 was the first year women were even allowed to even attempt to go into those roles. And I was actually one of those first women that even went to go through the schools for it. When I went through OCS, I was going through OCS with the intent to become one of the first female.
So almost 10 years and you got one. So is that proving your point or is that proving Andrew's point?
Female infantry officers. Okay, it took me asking 8 years in a row to even go to air assault school. Okay, and I got denied. I was multiple things in the military, but I was in for 16 years. But what's really, really important is I asked for 8 years to go, and I met not just meet the physical requirements. The physical requirements are on a scale of 0 to 300. I not only maxed it at 300 on the women's scale, which I'll give you that, but I went over that, and I met what the 18-year-old males were doing. I was running 2 miles in 12 minutes, which is 6-minute miles. That's pretty fucking fast, okay?
Great. So one girl can match what the men have to do as a baseline. What does that fucking prove? A girl, one, can do what the men can do. Yay. So fucking what? Their point is that not a lot can. Even if every girl you know could do that, that's still not a lot of girls compared to the entire U.S. military.
And I did that as a very, very capable, qualified female. I still wasn't allowed to go to air assault school. Here's the reason why. You're a girl. You'll never make it through. For 8 years, I got told that. And finally, on the 8th year, I made it through. So I just want to tell you, I fully agree with women being held to the same standard as male. But yes, we do have physical differences. That does not mean in today's age that we can't fight the same way.
Let me ask you a logical question. Logical question. The United States military was separated by men and women, and there was a internal conflict, an internal war where half of the army went against the other half. They had the same resources, same everything. One half was women, one half was men. Which one would win overwhelmingly?
So, sorry, can you say that question one more time?
Yeah. Let's assume we split the army in half, gave them exactly the same resources, exactly the same manpower, exactly the same tanks, jets, air support, everything.
The men would probably
Men on one side, women on the other. Who wins?
I don't know, because there's
You don't know. You don't know if the ladies, of which you know maybe 2 or 3 are capable, you don't know if they would win versus the entire U.S. military. Like, there's not a lot of women who can do what the boys do. You just said you're one of the few ones. So why would you think that way? What would make you think that these 4 girls could hang with the entire U.S. military? Because you're comparing the base. Like, that's not, like, they do better than that. If they run 2 miles in 12 minutes, okay, there are people that do it even faster than that. So a woman being able to match the baseline that men have to do just to be in, big fucking whoop. You're not going to beat the guys who are like maxing that out.
been some amazing.
Come on.
The men would
Amy, Lieutenant, you do know.
And that's when she
no,
knows.
I'm sorry, I disagree. I'm sorry, I disagree. There's some
Cognitive
incredible women
dissonance.
leading strategic battles
but there
right
aren't-
now
there are-
today.
agreed.
Today.
But
In
there
fact, the
aren't-
Navy is led by
Right.
a woman today.
I agree. But there's,
Today.
but
The
there's,
chief of staff.
right.
I'm sure she earned it. I'm sure she was the best seaman out there.
But my point is,
And
there,
it goes
there
down.
aren't enough.
chief
there
of
aren't,
staff.
Keep going down the ranks.
right, but
Keep going
there
down the ranks.
aren't. By comparatively, there aren't enough of like. there
Hand-to-hand
aren't-
combat, men would win.
Okay, right, but there aren't enough like female tank commanders that went to NTS and
We
fucking.
didn't get the opportunity to
Okay,
even
so
go.
but that's okay, right? But that's the point is there aren't enough women to where you'd be
At
able
this
to
point
pull
in
that.
time, yeah.
Well, let's just take it to the next level. Let's assume there was, and it was totally equalized. The force was equalized as far as you had all the same resources, the exact number of women to men, the exact same amount of technology. You still think women would even have a chance?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they have a chance.
Well,
Yeah, so
that's
let
when the cognitive
Absolutely.
dissonance gets to
Yeah,
the
let me
point
give a
where I just
pers-
I mean,
disconnect.
we went to the moon because of a woman.
No, we
Oh.
did not go to the moon because of a woman.
There
Did
was
math.
wi-
She watched that Black Lady film. Medea goes to the moon. She thinks that was Black Ladies got us on the moon.
It's ridiculous.
No.
It's the
No,
most
it's not
ridiculous shit.
ridiculous
Where
at
did-
all.
Okay,
It's
so
not ridiculous
this is
at all.
this is kind of my wheelhouse. What specifically are you talking about? We went to the moon because of a woman. What specifically do you want?
The
chick did the
whole
math.
She saw the
mathematicians
movie,
that
hit
were
the
behind that.
figures or
So
whatever.
there was an office of astrodynamics,
Yeah,
if
and
you
this
will.
is where you're losing me.
Yeah,
You don't need to make fun. You can educate me. You don't need to make fun.
There were 600,000 people that worked on Gemini.
Of course.
And 98% of them were men.
But again,
Yes.
because
Right.
men would not let women go
Correct.
into the positions that they
Correct.
rightfully
But we
deserve to
didn't
go
we didn't
into.
land on the moon because of
No.
specifically because of a woman. Now there were some like calculations that had to be redone, especially like during Apollo 13. And yet,
That they'd have handed to somebody else if she wasn't there. Because she worked on it, now it was because of her.
yes, in that offensive, the women were literally called calculators. That's what the name of them were. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I'm not trying to disparage them because obviously I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of anybody who did that in
I call my women dishwashers.
the moon landing. But the reality of the situation is it wasn't the majority. It wasn't
Well, I
even
didn't
1%.
say that. I
okay.
didn't, and I probably overgeneralized
Yeah.
when I said that. But I'm just saying, like, and by the way, I was the first person on this show to say that I definitely agree that we need men and men are amazing and all of these other things. Like, so I just want to clarify, I'm not like pulling some like
But you was also
feminism
the first
movement.
person that disagreed when I said that women need guidance, and this further proves my point, right? Because women tend to prioritize. You got your prioritizations messed up. You tend to prioritize what's good instead of what's best, right? So this conversation that we're having, you're saying that, well, women can do this. Well, women can do this. They can be good. You said that, well, yeah, you lifted or did something and you met a standard that an 18-year-old met. Right, an 18-year-old boy. Well, okay,
When
good.
I was a 17-year-old
okay, great,
girl,
but that's
Yeah, the baseline, dummy. The baseline.
good, but that's not what's best to do. And men just happen to be better at the job.
She's on a podcast bragging about being able to do the requirements to do what every man there does. So big fucking deal.
Not only that, let me ask you all the questions. Show of hands real quick, right? So, are y'all pro women? Who's pro women?
Absolutely.
Anyone pro women?
I love
Pro
women.
women?
I'm pro.
great.
Women are great.
Pro women,
Yeah,
and
I've
we
been
would all
on
agree.
that.
The males would agree with this. So, but it's kind of funny how
I'm pro Sydney Sweeney. Does that count?
how can you be pro woman, but you would want a woman to go into a war zone and risk everything? Risk everything. That doesn't even make sense.
You're pro
That's very
woman, she has the right to
nonsensical.
do it. You're saying pro woman, you're advocating for her to supporting her in whatever decision she makes. That's how we're pro
And now
women.
you're bringing up
Yeah,
rights.
yeah, now
and
you're
that's-
bringing up rights. And that's an
I'm
entirely
saying
different conversation with
supporting
men
her.
grant
A
rights.
decision. I'm saying strictly a
That's right.
decision. You're supporting a decision. That's being pro woman.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
talking about
no.
legalities.
You're
I'm talking about pro
okay,
woman.
so pro woman so they can go into a war zone and get their head blown off. That's
If
very
that's what they
nonsensical.
choose
I mean,
to
I
do.
So
literally
you
did
would
that.
want women to choose something that would
I didn't say I
kill
want them to. I said you are support. You asked who supports women.
No, but this is what
That
I'm
is the
saying. You
support.
have to be able to differentiate things. You're saying that you are pro woman, but then you want women to enlist into the military. It makes no sense. How can you be pro woman?
No,
You
I
want to
disagree.
protect women.
I disagree with you there, my friend, because like I absolutely think women should serve a minimum of 2 years, like many other countries do. There's so many incredible.
I agree. I agree with the bimbo. They should. Every one of them should have to serve 2 years. And it could be like charm school more so than military. We could just teach them how to talk to men, how to date, how to not be so fucking dumb all the fucking time. Yeah, just make it like a 2-year charm school. That would be good enough. That would make society so much better. Right there.
Essential roles that could be
Boot camp for bitches.
that they could fulfill.
But
through
those countries' fighting
passions.
forces are underwhelming in comparison to our volunteer force. And our volunteer force is mostly of 18 to 23-year-old males. And they are extremely skilled at their jobs.
And so are the women.
They're also very physically fit. This is the big
So
thing.
are the women.
If you have tanks and tanks are in a big fight with each other,
I have to
right?
disagree with you on the mostly of physically
So
fit.
are the
I
women.
completely disagree with you. Our
They're
our
far
force
more
is getting,
physically fit than
Fit
that.
than
They're
what?
far more physically fit than the females who are in the military.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are a lot of
Across the
shitbag
board.
men,
Wait a second.
too.
We weren't talking about genders just
There
a
are
second
lot
ago.
of-
No, I was actually bringing this back to say, let's just say you had tanks, just, I don't know, 2,000 tanks on both sides, an all-female versus all-male army.
Who's to
Just,
say my
Who's going to drive those tanks for the ladies, Andrew? They don't train women to drive tanks.
tank can't blow your tank?
yeah,
right
okay,
out?
hang on, let me finish.
Yeah.
I'll blow your tank up.
I
then
agree.
you're
Okay,
done.
I get it.
Then
You
you're
blow the
gone.
tank up.
In this feminism war or whatever, we're going to have to go drive the tanks for the women army just because they don't know how.
But
Who's
a
going to
man
lift
built
up the
tank.
big heavy-ass shell?
Yeah, a
I
man
actually
built the
think
tank.
that all the women
Who's going to
here
lift the
could-
big heavy-ass
Me,
shell?
it's not that
Me.
heavy.
And you're going to take
Well,
the
so,
lift
real-
the
real quick.
heavy-ass shell.
Can
I
I-
have.
Have you had
Time out. Stop. Amy, the issue is while I understand your argument. You're making the argument from like you're basically Shaquille O'Neal telling us to all be tall. Like
Right.
you're so far outside the norm. Congratulations. I'm not saying that's bad, but you
Yeah,
understand
the
most
exception
women
Not really,
are
because
women.
So far out the norm, you can do the baseline of what a man can do. Go you, girl. You go, girl power.
Most women are not going to be able to do
standardized
what
test
it is
to
that you were
pass
able to
in
do.
order to be in the
Going back to what you said
What an
before,
average man
there's
can do.
been thousands of SEAL candidates. There have been 18 women to go through SEAL training, and one in 2001 made it through.
There
And
you go.
because of that, her identity is classified.
Okay, one.
One. Now, I guarantee you, if I met her,
There's
I'd be able to tell which one it was. I guarantee
Oh, yeah. She dips. She definitely dips.
you if I saw her. But you went through fucking. I guarantee you, if I met her, I'd be like, "You're the one. You're the fucking SEAL."
But
Yeah.
my point is like, even just doing the
I bet you she drives a Subaru.
grind maintenance requirements for like, let's put this tread back on while we're in the field. Let's carry these really heavy shells up this hill by the 100. All of those are also physical requirements of soldiers. And while you may be an exception to the rule, generally speaking,
There's
men
still
are
a
gonna be
rule.
far better suited for that role.
I guarantee
which
you,
means
I
that
could
they
lift
would,
more than you can.
which means that ultimately, even if
Listen
you
to this
could,
lizard
what the
bitch.
fuck would that have to do with anything?
Because you're making a general statement that a
Because
man
we're
can
talking
do it,
about a general statement.
But I know, but you're saying just because a man, you
So because he can't do what the military men are supposed to do because he's in his 40s and he's just a guy who talks for a living, yeah, it doesn't make what he's saying not true, lizard lady. It's still a fact.
suck.
Literally.
Okay.
Like
What
from
an
head to
argument.
toe.
Great argument.
Like I guarantee you, I can lift more than you.
Is it? I got another.
You're gonna
super
have
chat
to,
here.
'cause you're
I
so
wanna know
ugly.
if this is true. Russ, if
You're gonna have to be able to lift heavy things because you're ugly as fuck. No man's lifting shit for you.
Fuel says
You got me.
Israel tried using women in combat, but they stopped because they took too many casualties.
They were killing it. They were killing it. I was following that story for a while. They were really doing an amazing job.
Killing
Can we
it.
talk about a statistic
Killing
real quick?
it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like having the same
I think
resources,
it was
men
Ukraine.
versus women, right? So like we have tanks on this side and then men have tanks on this side. So the average ASVAB score for a man is 47. The average ASVAB score for a woman is 50.
It's
So we
true,
are
yeah.
technically
I was a
smarter.
recruiter.
Yes, because not a lot of women sign up for the military. We get like the more intelligent ones that actually do this and they have to train and like put forth some effort. Like this G.I. Jane bitch. You can tell she's kind of got her shit together for a female. Like she can do the shit the men can do. She's just got wacky ideas, but she's still got her shit together. Like I'm sure she could probably outperform some men. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that she's a unicorn. There are not a lot of women who can even do the bare minimum of what a man can do. So we're talking, it's just crazy talk. Like if we had one of the guys who aced out all his specs on his physical fitness tests and such, I don't think it would be a comparison. I know it wouldn't be a comparison. Factually, it wouldn't be a comparison.
It's not that.
Can
Hold
be
on,
more
hold on.
strategic.
Time out. What you're doing is you're selecting for a select few group of women who, do you understand, most women don't have the audacity to join the military in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
It's about 8% of
Right.
women.
Oh, you're talking about
And
drafting
of,
women.
but so,
Talking about the end of the curve.
So this is the result. The result is smarter, more assertive women will then want to join the military, and that's why you're going to get that. Of course, like the thing is also the standards as far as ASVAB scores. If you want to be an 11 Bravo, no offense, guys, I love you
Yeah,
guys.
lowest
I love you
score,
guys.
lowest score.
But 11 Bravos, you don't have to have a fucking high score because
Yeah.
you carry a rucksack and a fucking M4. That's the
Yeah.
reason why.
Yeah,
So that,
just to elaborate on my point before that I made, right? I said that are you pro women? And you know, the guys, of course, raise their hands as we should because we are pro women. But some women raise their hands that they are pro women, but then also had disagreements with, you know, the.
Why should you be pro women? What does that get you? Being pro women, look how they act. What is there to be pro about? Cooley, I'm really curious. And I know they're not all like these degenerates, but in general, what is there to be a fan of at this point?
The super chat. So think about it. I would say that men are more pro women than when men are more pro women than women are because we are looking to protect you. You argued and said choice, right? So now you're looking at we got to differentiate the two. So choice, you said, well,
I'm past protecting them. I'm ready for their consequences. I am fully ready for them to get their consequences that they've been deserving their entire life. I don't know why we always have to do this. This is why we let women vote when they don't have to enter the draft, because guys just be like, oh, we'll protect you. Fuck that. Get them in the military. Make them make me some sandwiches. That's what they need to be doing.
we want women to have choice. Well, I'm saying that men, we protect women, right? So let me ask you a question. Do you have a kid?
No.
You don't have a kid. Let's say if you did have a kid, right? You birthed this kid for you had
I protect ladies. I don't protect women. No, ladies I will protect because ladies they're dignified. Yeah. But most women are not ladies.
had this kid in your belly for 9 months. You took this kid through, you know, elementary school, and now they're in middle school. Throughout those years that you've raised that child, right? What would you be prioritizing? Their choice or protecting them from their bad choices?
When they are of an age where they can't make a decision for themselves and they can't fend for themselves, I think it's pretty obvious that you're making their choices for them.
But
No.
I feel
That's
like
not my
you're
question. Let me rephrase this.
relating
That's not my
women to being
question.
children.
I'm
Right,
saying
exactly.
Well, it's really, it's
And we're
really
definitely
a
not.
relatable topic. Women tend to be similar to children, is what I'm pretty
David,
much what
you
I'm
do
saying.
a really good
certain
job of
Very
evoking
similar.
emotion and
No.
stir it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
no,
if you
no.
if
Really
the
good.
condescending tone that you swear you don't have,
He's really good at
Oh,
doing
that
that.
you
y'all
have-
back to the beginning podcast.
No,
because
while
y'all
you're
wrong.
while you're
Yeah,
calling
how's
us
it wrong? You're
children.
asking me an
Great exchange.
opinion.
This was a
Hold
great
on,
exchange.
if you ask
Exactly
an
what he wanted
opinion,
from
you
you.
cannot tell me I'm wrong. Period.
No.
If you ask me,
Yes, you can. You can tell someone their opinion is wrong. You can have a wrong opinion. What is he talking about? What if I think women have tails? Is that my opinion? Is that right? No, you can have an opinion that's way wrong.
your question,
No,
I give you my
proved
opinion.
my point.
You can't say no.
So listen, you're actually
Okay.
proving my point here, right? So what I'm saying is that men are more pro women than women are,
And he's gonna
because
talk
if
to you
you
in a
want
nice and slow
Right.
voice so that you sound like a crazy bitch.
Right. Now I'm the
He sounds
overly
like a rational
emotional.
male.
yeah, great. So
Yeah.
yeah. Let me finish my
So-
sentence here,
Yeah.
right? So what I'm saying is that men are more pro women
I'm gonna
than
let you
women
finish,
are.
bud.
just
I'm gonna let you
because-
finish, bud.
Yeah, great. But and the facts is that what I'm stating here is because you said that no, we are pro woman because we want women for choice. We want women to have choice. I'm saying that's nonsensical, because if you had a child, you wouldn't be wanting your kids. You would be like, wait, don't touch that stove. That's hot. What is that? What is that?
At the end of the day, you're talking about two separate things. I'm
No, that's
talking
not two
about
separate
adults that
things.
can make their own decisions.
And I
we
just
are
gotta
not
tell you-
talking about animals or children
Yeah.
or things that need to be protected because they don't know better.
You're assuming
Two
all men
different
want to
things.
So,
protect,
no,
and that is
it's-
not why a lot of men join the
it's an
military. I can promise
example.
you that. A
It's
lot
a
of men
bad
join the
example.
No, it's not a
military.
bad
It's a
example.
bad example. Hold on.
It's a very
It's a
fair
bad
example.
example that leads nothing but for us to say something that makes us look dumb.
No, wrong.
It is a push of a narrative that you want for us to agree with you, even though what we're saying has nothing to do with what you're saying.
And this
You're
is coming
incorrect.
from a guy who thinks he's going to choose his daughter's husband.
Okay.
So-
Right,
Great,
but she
great,
has to be in
great.
love with him, and it's gonna
You're
last
listening.
forever.
You're not listening to
His
understand.
daughter's
Me and you having this conversation. You said that. Well, guess what? Well, I want women to have choice, and
I
choice is
didn't
more.
say any of that. You
That is
asked,
what you said.
No.
Can we
You
rewind
asked.
it? Can we?
You asked, show of hands of people pro women. I agreed. I am pro
And
woman.
then guess what I said?
And
I said, so then
the
why
choice.
would you want women to go to war? You said because of choice. I said that, well, men are more pro women is because we want to protect women.
Not
right?
all men. Not all men.
This
A
is
lot of
what
men
we're
that
arguing
a lot
for, and
of
I
Wait,
was
men join the military
can
for
I
other
use a
reasons.
different example that's like David's? The situation with Lindsey Hill and Trevor Bauer, or the situation?
You can always tell the dumbest asshole at a table who goes, not all. They're not all idiots. Yes, no one is saying every fucking person thinks like me. He's saying what his opinion is. That doesn't mean all men think like him. I don't think like him. I want them to get consequences. I want them in the military making sandwiches for the men and doing any other degrading toilet cleaning shit we can find for them, because you want to vote and then you're not going to go defend the country. Fuck you. Get your consequences, bitches. That's my mentality.
With Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. In those situations, I was fucking livid when I saw that this woman, because I work with domestic abuse charities, when these women went there and said that their men hit them when they didn't. But why am I the one who's angry about this? Who should be angry about this are women. Women should be so much more angry about the Amber Heard situation than men should be, because they sat there and say, well, believe all women. Well, how can we believe all women now? She shit on his bed. You can't, let's just be real. You know, like, that's how crazy it is. When women, like the thing with Lindsey Hill, complete, total made up, and Trevor Bauer lost 300 MLB games because this woman lied about
And counting.
him. And that, the whole thing is what he's saying to what he's saying before. Who should really be mad about this? Whose cause has been set back by women lying? Is it my cause? No, it's women's cause. And that's the point. Women should be more upset about this
So
than
there's
men are.
bad seed
I'm
women
upset
and there's
about it.
bad seed men, and that's not the
Shh. Don't tell them and they'll never figure it out.
argument at hand. The argument or the discussion at hand was, should we be pro women? And all I said was for a woman to have the choice.
Right. So
Yeah.
now I'm comparing choice to protection, right? So choice is free will. Well, we all got free will that God granted us with. Pretty much, can do whatever we want, right? So as part as a man, the reason why I compared it to a parent, because a parent needs to protect their kid. The reason why so a man needs to protect a woman, right? Needs to protect women. So what I'm saying is that men are more pro women than women are, is because we literally have a natural proclivity to protect you, which you're just prioritizing choice. I'm prioritizing protection. So I am more pro women than you are.
I think you're maybe part of like a group of men that have that mindset, but I promise you, I was a recruiter for the military for 6 years. That is not the reason a lot of men join the military. Some men join the military because the judge says, hey, you did a really bad thing. You got a choice. You can go to jail or you can get in the military. Some men join the military
So can that guy not think the same thing Cooley's thinking too?
because their dads beat the shit out of them and they just want to go prove that they're tougher than their
No
fathers.
point.
So it's nothing to
Yeah,
do.
we're not
Or
talking
some
about the
join to serve
joining.
their
We're
country.
not speaking about the joining. We're
But
arguing.
you were talking about that because you said, going back to the pro women thing, you're saying that men are more pro women than women are because you have this drive to protect, and that conversation stemmed directly.
So do you think that it means he doesn't want to protect women because he had to go to the military because a judge made him? Like what? That has nothing to do with anything. Cooley's not in the military. He's just, that's how he feels. And that guy who also has to go because the judge is making him, he may feel that way too. What is your point, Blondie? God
From
damn, they're
being in the
stupid.
military and serving in the military.
Yeah,
That was
but
what we- that was how we got
joining is
here.
what I'm saying is we're arguing against women even joining the military.
I'm not arguing for that. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
arguing for
arguing
that.
against that, and me and him is arguing for that. Women
Yeah.
shouldn't be in the military.
Yeah, well,
Who's going to make sandwiches? I don't think you've thought about the sandwich intake we need to keep this military running.
You want to do the next clip?
Yeah, you want to do that one?
Except as support roles.
I want to come back to that.
Support
I want to
roles,
come
for
back to
sure,
the
yeah.
protection thing in a minute, but we got to get to this one, or I'll be.
And feminism broadly is the pushing of an egalitarian society based around the equality of men and women.
Is that the most generous definition that you give it?
That's the most generous one I could possibly give.
So, so you don't, you don't think that, I'm assuming, you don't think that men and women are equal, correct?
No.
Okay. Which is,
I'm sorry. Does Farrah have her own personal slave there to like give
massaging
her a
her?
massage?
No, hold on. Can you start the clip again? I did not hear anything he said in the beginning.
All right, let me push it back. There you go.
'cause we're having
Feminism
conversation,
to
I'm
me,
curious.
and feminism broadly is the pushing of an egalitarian society based around the equality of men and women.
Is that the most generous definition that you give it?
That's the most generous one I could possibly give.
So, so you don't, you don't think that, I'm assuming, you don't think that men and women are equal, correct?
No.
Okay. Which is okay.
No,
You're allowed-
I don't.
No,
think
it's okay. I don't
think that egalitarianism is true. I don't think that equality is real. I don't think any of those things are true. I don't think any of them are true.
so? Who do you think
should
is
be
the,
real?
No.
You think is who do you think is?
I don't think. Well, I don't even think it's possible. You want me to tell you how? Farah knows. Farah knows what I'm about to say, but I'll tell you. I can tell you how. I can tell you how men and women can't be equal. You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you are to look at force in society, who would you say has the monopoly on force, men or women?
Men on brute men.
The monopoly. I'm just talking about the monopoly.
Easily over they're the stronger.
I feel like things are set up for men, but
Can you indicate a time in history ever,
I guess this fat bitch thinks she's strong too.
in the history of all of mankind, where men didn't have a monopoly on force?
on force as in like physical force though, correct? Always. They're
physical
always stronger
force.
than
Yeah.
us.
oh, then yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the biology.
They have the monopoly on physical force. So the question, when you come down to rights, is who can enforce rights? Women can't enforce their own rights. Men have to enforce women's rights. So there can never be real equality. There can
Okay,
never be real
this is
egalitarianism.
What the
Men are. I just.
Okay. Does anybody have any reaction to that specifically?
I have a question. Why has she got this picture with a bodybuilder?
Is that Arnold in his younger days?
That
What
was
is
distracting as fuck.
I think that there's a difference between like the quality of men that you're talking about. I feel like you're saying men in general, like all men. There's a difference between Joe Schmo on the street and Michael. Like Michael takes care of himself, not to gas you up, whatever, but you're a pretty fucking awesome dude.
I appreciate that.
You
Thank
know,
you.
like, and
I love
there's
you
a
too,
difference between you and like some dude named John that never works out, that sucks at life, whatever. Like that's the quality of man that we want, not like all men.
I think the decision though was about
That's random. Then a guy named John.
equality to deal with it. Not quality, but equality.
Yeah, but also,
equality.
But also, I want to ask that too. Like you said a couple of things in there. You said that men should control the rights of women. So
Nope.
No, you
I
said
didn't
that.
make a should claim. No.
Well, okay. So then maybe I heard it
I
differently.
made a descriptive is claim. What is true?
Human rights exist only because of men. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
It's not
So
saying
if
that
you
they should control.
Take a should claim versus an is claim. It's a descriptive versus a prescriptive claim. I'm not prescribing that men take rights away from women. I'm saying what is
I am.
descriptively true is that men grant women rights.
Okay,
I feel
cool.
like someone
Okay,
that
but I
has
feel
such-
like
Wait, hold on, hold on,
Diva.
Let me talk. I feel like someone that has such a ridiculously high ego as you should at least be physically fit.
Okay.
What are you doing?
So anyway,
I
back to
just,
where we're
I
at
just
with
have
the argument.
a quick question for you guys. So, as a
I think that a girl on a podcast should be a lot prettier than you too, lizard lady.
I think a
woman,
woman as bitchy as you should be attractive. But
There you go.
what do you want? Anyway,
Can I just say that you think like everything that you say that you know and all this stuff? Is this why you come in with such an attitude, like making like you're better than us?
yes. Now, can we get back to the argument?
Okay, let's just agree not to insult each
Like, if
other's
you guys didn't
looks,
come
even
at
if
me-
we
So
disagree
listen,
about something.
Loretta,
Yeah,
here's
nothing to do
the
with
situation.
anything.
This guy is a professional debater. Like he will like stomp people. That's the way he communicates. He's only interested in the content, not the context. And
Totally,
if
but-
the context gets misaligned, then you don't have to say things about like him needing a pedicure or
It
making
gives
fun
us
of
a
him.
bad look and it makes us women look
but that
bad.
doesn't
You're
give
giving
you
us
the
exactly
green,
what
a
we want.
green
Yeah,
light
you're-
to be disrespectful.
You are being that girl.
That
right
doesn't
now.
give you a green light to be disrespectful.
What did I
It
do that
doesn't.
was disrespectful? I was just answering your question. You came at me.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
didn't
shift
come
the
at anybody.
conversation back to the topic.
This bitch literally beside her twin sister literally said, I think you should be more physically fit if you're going to be this arrogant. Who came at who? These bitches like to attack and then cry when you say anything back. They literally do nothing but attack him, doing this the seal clap and shit like that. They constantly probe him and then get mad whenever he goes, fuck you, bitch, and slaps him away. He's not even being vicious to him yet. I don't know if that's on this video.
And I just have a genuine question. So, as a woman who is completely single, I'm not dating, I'm not seeing anybody. There is zero, besides my father and my family, there is zero constant male figure.
Slide in the DMs, gentlemen.
my
Slide in the
life.
DMs.
Okay, and so I'm a career woman. I have my own business. I have my own show. Like I built.
You're gonna stay alone because you're a career woman. You'll be comforted by your 401k in your golden years, shithead.
Everything myself. I got my own MBA. Like I did everything I needed to structure my life. I need my rights. I need to be able to vote, to work, I need to do all of this stuff because otherwise I'm just flailing in the wind by myself with no, to your point, I don't have a leader. I don't have someone leading my home or my family. That's me.
Sure.
That's me.
But can we get back to the descriptive claim of whether or not men are the grantors of rights to women? That's the claim.
I didn't disagree or anything with that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, like, in the scenario, because I would love a perfect society where, every woman's got a man and they're secure in that relationship. And he's all the things that I think you're saying that would be healthy for the balance of men and women. I don't disagree in a perfect society. But unfortunately, the reality is we don't have a perfect society. And there's women like me who, have to be on their own until I find a partner that.
This woman has created her own nightmare. She's, I'd say she's about a 7 in this picture. When you see what she looks like later, like if I bring that back up, she don't look good now. But she created her whole horror show that she's living through. She created because she is about a 7. She's physically fit, about to an average man level, and she wants a man who is better than her in every way. So all of her ambition to get to be the best man she could ever be, it's working against her because now you've got to find a man who's better than you. The average guy who you're stronger than, you're not going to be impressed with him. You're not going to want him. So for the rest of your life, you're going to go through this where every man falls short because you've already become the man you wanted to date. You're him. You're him, lady. You're him.
That's a worthy partner that can be all the things that you're describing.
Sure.
So,
but you generally don't make prescriptive claims for society based on outliers. You usually take the general pool and then you make the prescription based on the general pool, knowing full well that can't ever accommodate everybody. That's an impossibility.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about what should we do, the should part of this, what ought we do, I'm guessing you would think we ought to do things which are the most beneficial for the most amount of people.
Mm.
Is that correct?
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that's what you're speaking to, then we can clearly look at times, even in American history, where our prescriptions for society clearly benefited far more people. And this was even pre-suffrage for women. Seemingly, they lived much healthier lives. We didn't have a birth rate crisis. Almost everything across the board, pre-egalitarianism, was better in American life than post-egalitarianist feminism. And that's what the claim is.
And back to what you were saying that, you pretty much stating that you're a successful woman and you're single and stuff like that. How old are you?
34.
34 years old. And were you ever married before?
No.
What was your longest relationship?
4 years.
4 years?
35 is rough for this one, boys. 35 is rough.
Okay. And when was that?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay, so you've been single in a dating market for 5 years.
Yeah, but I mean, like I was telling you guys earlier, I had like a really devastating breakup where I was just about to get married, and it like kind of ruined my whole
Gotcha.
healing
You
around
broke up with
it.
him?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that does suck. And pretty much what I'm saying here is that that goes back to my point that you tend to have a point of contention with in the beginning of the podcast, but now you seem like you came towards it with women need guidance, right? And this is why these two guys do this podcast, right? I believe this is one of the reasons, correct me if I'm wrong, because women need guidance, right? So you're 34 years old and you're single. You've been single for 5 years, right?
But I just want to clarify. I don't agree with your statement that all women need guidance, because like I'm doing really well on my own.
And you're 34 on a podcast with no options talking about men bad. Yeah, you're doing great, kid. You're doing great.
Do you think that you're doing well on your own, but you're 34 and you're single?
But at this point, that's a very defined choice of mine.
That's a defined choice.
Yeah.
So are you celibate?
Yeah. I mean, you could say that at this
How long
point.
you been celibate for?
I mean, a while.
Oh, okay, a while. So that means that someone is sliding in between them soul gaps
No.
and smacking it around every now and
Okay,
then.
first of all,
That's what that means.
Hold on, no.
That's
You
what I'm
don't just
saying. So
don't.
let me-
Wait,
let me
no,
finish my point.
no. There
Let me
is
finish
no,
my point.
sir. You do
Let
not
me
get.
finish
What did
my
I
point.
told you?
No one is disrespecting you.
You
I'm saying that
literally just
someone
talked to me like I
have
was
done
a
it before
304.
Since you've been single.
No, the way
That's
you
what I said.
the way you just
That's how
described
you
that
took
is
it.
completely
You just
inappropriate.
admitted.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Can you
Time
even
out. You
repeat
just
that back?
literally admitted.
Slap me around. I'm sorry. The way.
No, I think you misunderstood what he said.
misunderstood.
He was using a euphemism. He didn't say slap you around. He just said like have fun
Like
having sex with you.
sliding in, and the way you described
Okay,
it, sir.
so
I am not a 304.
Okay.
No one is saying
Don't
that
talk to
any
me like
man
that.
that has sex with a woman, he is sliding in between them soul gaps
Do
and
not
smacking and flipping
do-
things around.
yeah,
That's just
that's exactly what
that's
you
how it
said.
is. Men dominate
Don't-
during sex.
like, the
But let me
conversation is
finish
over
the
when you
point of what
disrespect
I'm
me that
making.
way, 'cause
No
I am
one
The conversation ain't over. He's still talking, so it's not over.
not a-
disrespecting
no,
you. No one is
the way you
disrespecting
just
you.
said that is so disrespectful to
Once
me.
again, you're feeling a
Yeah.
lot of negative emotions, like the
Correct.
beginning
Tone policing. That's all they do.
of the
Because you don't talk to a
podcast.
woman like that.
Well, I
you
do.
don't. Well,
I do.
and then there's no conversation
But
because you're not
guess
going to
what?
speak to me
You're
like that.
trying to twist it. I'm
Sir, you're
speaking
not
about
gonna speak to
your
me like
current.
that.
I'm speaking about what you spoke about. You said that.
Complete
Well,
narcissism.
Gaslighting. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And the psychologist has discovered more narcissists because they think every man's a narcissist.
You're
gaslighting.
Like,
Okay, great,
you
great.
No,
So
you're not
anyway,
going to
this is
speak
what
to
I'm
me like
saying.
that.
I'm not saying that at all.
me like
I'm literally saying-
Here we go. Time out. We're gonna do like this. We're gonna go David first, and then Amy can respond. Go ahead,
Yeah,
David.
let me clear it up real quick before I get all
Right
emotional,
into
right?
the
So I'm just saying this, and this is why I ask these questions. This is not anything malicious at all, right?
This is why I walked out.
So I'm saying that women need guidance, and you're saying that you're not one of those women that need guidance. And I ask you these probing questions to see if, well, you're 34, you're single, you've been single for 5 years. Well, you're saying that you don't really need a man.
Didn't she say
stuff
she
like
does
this.
want a man for guidance? Didn't you say that earlier?
If I could find a quality
Yeah.
male, which
Oh.
unfortunately there is none.
Thought it was by choice though. But if you could find one, then it wouldn't be your choice anymore. So you can't find a man who is stronger than you, taller than you, richer than you, better looking than you. So that's your issue. You caused your own prison.
Okay, so let me finish. I'm trying to help you out. This
But
is
not by
avoid
talking to me the way you're
phrasing
talking to me
being
too.
I don't
between the
have
guts
to
and all that.
avoid
Yeah, avoid.
anything.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
avoid
Like,
anything.
thank
This is
you.
how I speak,
That's all
okay?
you.
It
All you
That's
doesn't
how I
work.
speak,
It doesn't
ladies.
work in this context.
Okay, great.
In Philly, this is like a compliment.
We're not in Philly.
Not.
just
I'm
kidding.
not.
So, all right. So basically what I'm saying is, right, so you've been single for 5 years and you're 34 years old and you're saying that, well, I don't need any guidance. My point is what I'm saying is, here's why you need guidance. Just let me finish my sentence, right? The reason why you need guidance is because you're single and you're 34 and
You're
still
saying that like
having
it's a
sex
bad
with-
thing, though.
God dang, can I finish the sentence? Let
God
me get one
dang,
in.
you're saying it
Let me
like
get
it's a
one-
bad thing.
Let me
Being
get
34
one
and single,
sentence
why
in.
is that a
Let
bad
me get one
thing?
sentence. Back to you, right? We're just gonna ignore her for a little bit because she over
You
there
are a
wilding.
complete narcissist,
Anyways,
and you're
right?
gaslighting
Narcissist.
No, I'm speaking to
completely
her
right now.
I'm speaking
I
to
think
her.
you should just shut up.
Just hold on. Let him
This is
finish
text
speaking, and then
Yeah,
you guys can
literally, I
speak.
can't get
Seriously,
a
just
sentence.
let him
Move on.
Responses.
You want to move on?
No, I keep going.
Okay, cool. So all I'm saying is this, right? The reason why you need guidance from a man is because you said
Stupid.
that you're 34 and you're single, but you're still having sex with men. Now, you may have been celibate for 2 weeks or 3 months or whatever you've been doing, right? But that means that you chose a man to sleep with at some point in time during you were single, and that dude didn't meet the requirement of a relationship for you because you had sex with him and then you got rid of him, right? Or he got rid of you, whatever it was. So I'm saying that you need guidance from a man because guess what? There's certain characteristic traits that you can look for in a man. You said in the beginning of the podcast, well, Cooley, I wish it was more men out there like the guys that you speak about, right? I'm saying that there are men out there, and I'm telling you of traits of how you could find these traits in a man and actually get what you want, which is why you need guidance, and I'm guiding you right now. So now let me tell you how.
She can't, Cooley. I've explained this. She is already exceeded the levels that she's going to be able to get coming back to her. She wants a guy who's stronger, taller, better looking, more money, everything better than her. And she's already like, she's at a level where anybody who is that much better than her, why would he go for a 34-year-old that's like her when he can go get a younger girl who's pretty and prettier and doesn't have these mental issues that she seems to have where she wants to be a man? That's the issue. And it's going to be that way until she dies because she's never going to be able to just accept that every man shouldn't have to be better than her in every fucking way.
These traits in a man like me and masculine men that you could find a masculine leader that can protect and provide for you and give you a future.
She'll never find one more masculine than her.
So here's some traits of a man, right? Some of these traits is being decisive. A man needs to be decisive. One little pointer to see if a man isn't decisive when you're first texting him. He's like, hey, guess what? You know what you want to do? He's asking you what you want to do. He can't really plan a date. He's asking you what you want to eat and stuff like this. A decisive man is telling you this. Hey, baby girl, be ready at 8. We going here. We doing this. Boom, boom, boom. This is what we looking for. So that's one green flag you can look for in a man that has his stuff together. I'm giving you guidance of what you need. Another trait. You ready for more?
Well, I didn't ask you for the advice, period.
Well,
Number one.
Well, you're getting the guidance is what we're talking about. I'm making your
The
point.
unsolicited guidance.
Yeah.
Listen to his
I didn't ask for any of that.
Okay, well, great. You didn't ask for it, but you need it because you're 34 and you're single and you're still having sex for a minute.
And you're going to be 35, shaving your head and running off of podcasts crying.
Not getting what you
You're
want.
assuming.
You said that you want these masculine men. No, David, I wish it was more men like you spoke about. There's not many. Well, the reason why you think that there's not many is because you don't have the ability to retain them. You can attract them. They'll only smash you, but then they'll dash you. So you can attract them, but you can't retain these men. That's a fact.
Why are you so angry?
I think we need to move on because this is going nowhere.
Chill out.
Yeah, no, sir, you're giving me unsolicited advice.
See, she can get those guys who meet her requirements of being better than her in every way. She can get them to fuck her. She can't get them to keep. She can't keep a guy like that because he's going to go get somebody younger with not so much bullshit in her head.
And
Okay,
you don't know me
unsolicited
or
advice.
my
Well,
dating. You don't know how I
here's why you need
communicate with
guidance,
men,
and you
etc.
don't want to take the guidance. Fair enough.
I didn't ask you for guidance.
What if the
I didn't
women at
ask
this
you for
table
guidance.
like thought that
You
your
should.
guidance was just like trash? Like we're just like this
Trash. Why
guy
you need
is
guidance.
just like I would never listen
Yeah,
to this
that's
guy.
true.
ever.
True narcissism
So let
right
me
there.
see if I can insert something here because what you're saying is two different things here. When we're talking about, I think one of the reasons why women end up in a situation where like I don't trust men. I don't, like we just watched the very first video that was on here. We don't need men. Don't need men. Nobody need men. When I was on Dr. Phil, I told Dr. Phil that there's an overwhelming, let's just say zeitgeist, right? There's this overwhelming like atmosphere that men are superfluous right now. And I had to explain to him what superfluous meant. But meaning like they're nice to have around, but they're not absolutely necessary because I make my own damn money. I went to college. I went and I got my own damn business together. I got my own money. And then they get to be 34 and they go, well, where are all the good guys? But the problem is that up to that point, when you get into your mid 30s, and you're looking at guys who aren't going, or you said a worthy man. You want to submit your life to a worthy man, not just any old motherfucker, but a worthy guy who's got his shit together, who makes more money than you, probably more educated than you, probably taller than you, probably
Better looking.
physically impressive, like at least in some way, so that you can look up to that guy. Okay,
100%.
you cannot.
100%.
Women cannot look up to a man that is their equals.
See, he was very genius in the way he got her to admit that. See, she would have never admitted that if I were saying it because she would just go, no. But the way he said that, he got her to admit, yeah, I need a guy who's better than me in every fucking way imaginable. And she doesn't see a problem with that. As she's rapidly getting older, soon to be starting to shave her head and go nuts on other podcasts.
So the guy has to be at least this much better than you are on,
every way.
on that scale.
100%,
So the problem
100%.
is that women have become the men that they want to marry at this stage. So they can't find those guys anymore. And so what happens is they have that fear, that instinctive, insecure fear that they're never going to be able to find that guy. And so what do? They try to ensure their security because they are the vulnerable sex. They try to ensure that security by becoming men, by becoming the guy that they wanted to marry. And that, I think, is probably the number one problem that women face today, is the fact that they fear that if they get with the guy, he's going to cheat, he's going to leave, he's going to fuck his secretary, I'm going to invest all of my sexual capital and all my agency and all my life into this guy. And there's always that outside chance that he's going to leave once he gets paid, right? Once he wins the lottery, once he makes partner in the law firm, once he becomes a surgeon, when he becomes a winner, I'm going to be the loser because the things that made me attractive to him prior to all of this, those are a depreciating asset at this point. So what happens is women try to ensure their long-term security by themselves. And the guys that's one of the reasons I think women are so frustrated, because average women don't want to get with average men
She's just realizing he's talking about her.
okay, because
she's the average woman.
They can't be as paid as you. They can't be as educated as whatever else that you made yourself. So we're looking at a generation of women who are fearful that those guys are going to leave, or there's something is going to be something's not going to work out for them. And so therefore, once they've got all that security, then they find that they can't get the guys that they're hoping they're going to get, the worthy guys who they would want to submit their lives to.
Yeah.
That's the number one problem that women have right now.
Holy shit, Rolo, did I just agree with you on something?
No, it's so true.
No, sir.
Now, more to your point, I'm going to read something that's from my fourth book here real quick, because this is from the chapter called Big Head Babies, okay? Big Head Babies is the reason why women are the vulnerable sex is because they're the incubators of the next generation. And so when you say women need guidance, I agree with you that women need guidance. I agree in the fact that men think that they need to give women.
They're also the dishwashers of last night's casserole. They do. Just keep that in mind.
Guidance. And because of the state that we're in right now, where women are so fearful that they need to ensure their own security, men still want to give that guidance, and women are like, get the fuck out of here. I already made my money. I already got my
100%.
education. I've already become the motherfucker that I was hoping to marry, who could give me guidance.
Yes.
But I can't find a guy like that, so I'll give myself the guidance, because I can't find any dude that's worthy of my time or whatever.
But to your and Michael's point, because you guys talk about this a lot, like the pool of candidates for me. Listen, I'm 5'9".
I was going to say this. So
right?
100. So you want someone who's taller than you.
Yeah.
So 6 feet
You say
tall
it
and
the
100K.
best.
So 6 feet tall is 14% of men.
Yeah.
100K a year is 17% of men.
Right.
So if you want 6 feet tall and 100K,
It's a funnel.
it's
It
not.
just gets-
Half of them are married or gay. Half of them are married. A quarter of the leftovers are still gay. Like, you have no guys to choose from, dummy. That's what I've been trying to say. You outperformed what you want back. Like, no guy can compete because they can, but they're not going to go for you. You're not getting them.
It's not 14% or 17%. It's 14% science.
Let me just run through this real quick. So human females are weak and inefficient physically compared to men. Okay, so for much of with their ancestral lives,
all of the guys that would qualify for her are dating 20-year-old Instagram models.
They were carrying around one or more weak, delicate offspring, children, right? You had to, because they're human babies take a long time to gestate. They take a long time to reach self-sufficiency. They need female mothers, mature, for nurturing, for feeding, for just, for guidance in general. And so women tend to not be able to run. They can't fight because they're taking care of children. They need men to join the military, to be able to fight, to be able to be physically fit, to have a upper body strength. And if you look at just the physique side of things, men physically evolved to be animals of war. We have, if you look at our bone structure, if you look at the hemoglobin in our bloods. There's a whole list of
there's a great
characteristics for that.
Yeah.
So unlike females, other species, they're constantly dependent on males to protect, feed, and care for them because they're constantly having to nurture those children. Okay. Essentially, they
But
are.
isn't that still the case?
No, well, here, let me see. Essentially, women are permanent children in the sense that they acquire by proximity some of the fragility and importance of humanity's very expensive children. So if you have a weak child and you have the woman there who's caring for the child and there's no one to protect it, well, who's going to protect? The male is going to protect that child. So how do you prevent the males from tyrannizing these women to the detriment of the species? By imbuing males with the same protective instincts towards them that women have towards children. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying women are children. I'm just saying the instinct is that they're seeing as that
treat them like children.
Yeah,
the
to
big
protect, to guide, to provide, to be parentally invested, to be provisioning, protection, and parental investment. Those are the three like beta qualities, right? Okay, so then there's how do you prevent them from exploiting that How do you protect them from men from exploiting that protective instinct? And take the advantage from males or from making them unprotectable by ignoring male guidance, by imbuing women with the same instinctive obedience towards men that children have towards women, and that's the end of it.
Yeah. Well, just the funnel, the whole point of me bringing up the funnel was like, because I've already done it all for myself at this point, like somebody coming to me and saying, I'm going to give you guidance. It's like, bro, you're a little too late to the game in terms of guidance. Like in terms of like dating, when someone's, wants to
Agreed. She's too far gone, fellas. Let her go.
take me out on a date. Yeah. That's the first thing I'm looking for is how do you come to ask me for a date? Like, are they prepared? Do they have it together? Like all of the stuff that you think you're going to tell me, I already have it down.
Let me ask you one question, right? So the guy that you last had sex with that didn't grant your relationship because men grant relationships and women grant sex.
Okay, you're wrong there.
Well, that is a fact. But
It's
anyways, so the guy that you had sex with, right?
I'm not going to talk to you about any of that.
No, that's fine. I'm asking you. So you said one thing when I said that, hey, Cooley, I wish that there were more, masculine dominant men that can protect and provide for women. That's a good thing. But they're very hard to find.
Yeah,
so now I'm
small
asking
percentage of
you
the funnel.
that last guy that you had sex with, right? Was he one of those masculine dominant guys, or was he one of those ones that you settled for a dude that just raised you up?
Yeah, I just told you a few minutes ago. I'm not going to talk to you about that. And again, I'm going to discontinue all conversation with you. If
so
you
cool.
use statements like "ridge me up," absolutely not.
Charisma.
Yeah.
That's what charisma means.
Sorry, I thought you said something different. Riz, I know exactly what.
So she's just desperate to be offended. She's offended by the word Riz now. The fuck?
But that is, but
so
it's not what I thought you
so,
said.
Yeah, so let's finish this.
So I was mad for no reason.
Real fast. So pretty much, I'm saying the last guy you had sex with.
I already told you I'm not talking about that.
No. This is what I'm saying. It's just answer this. Was he the type of guy that I spoke about in the beginning of the podcast, or was he not that type of guy?
What I'm telling you, I'm not talking to you about.
So then that means that he wasn't that type of guy.
I just said I'm not responding.
Great. So that means that he wasn't that type of guy. So what I'm saying that man raised you up.
I already asked you to stop.
That's a fact. So here's some guidance. I'm gonna give you more guidance. I don't even care what you're saying right now. So here's some more guidance.
I asked you to shut up like 10 times.
Great.
And he ignored her. Shut up, too.
Great. So here's some more guidance. No,
you can talk to the group because I'm not talking to you.
You should want to hear this, right? So the reason why you were rizzed up by that guy is because you prioritize the wrong traits in a man. Okay,
you want to hear yourself.
You prioritize the wrong.
She's offended by the word charisma or Riz, whatever. It's just a slang for that. They have most of her issues with him are just about his culture. Like he's a black guy and he talks like a black guy. What is so offensive about that to this Barbie looking chick?
Traits in a man, right? So guess what? Women are more emotional, right? So guess what? You didn't look for the things that I told you to look for in the beginning, like a man being indecisive and things like that. What you did look for is, is he charismatic? Is he charming? So that's why you let this dude slide in between your soul gaps, smack it and flip it around. And you gave sexual access to a dude that didn't grant your relationship. This is why you're 34 and you're single. This is why you need guidance, which I'm giving you now. I'm literally telling you how to actually get the men that you want, but you don't want to listen to that.
All right, she's ready to move on. She's ready to plead the fifth. I understand what you're saying. She's ready to plead the fifth.
Why is being 34 and single a bad thing?
Okay, so it's not that.
But you're saying it. You're saying it. It's like,
what he's saying is she still is looking for someone.
She's still looking.
So bad, maybe not bad, comparatively bad, but it's like I want a thing. I want to have a company worth $10 billion, but I don't have it. I still want that thing. So if somebody wants to give me guidance to get there, I know this is a
But let me
weird
tell
metaphor.
you, a man that talks to a woman like this would never make that cut. So
Right, it's
I'm
about
not
like
looking for
caliber.
he's
Like I said, I'm not
he's
trying to
not in
smash.
that at all.
Yes, and all the men who you want are going to have that same attitude towards you because they don't care. They don't want you. They want somebody better.
He's an
not in the
excellent
photo.
content
all
creator.
human
He's creating
decency goes
content right
away.
now. We're going viral.
I'm not trying to smash.
All human
There's the
decency
clip.
goes away because you're not trying to smash her.
It's literally-
Respect goes out the door.
Like
Yeah. You don't get to
literally,
fuck.
No,
I'm
he's just
giving
trying
her-
to.
Human dignity. So to tell somebody that you're going to give them some advice that they don't want to hear, that's saying they have no dignity. These bitches stretch so fucking far to get an insult out of a guy that's just trying to talk to him.
I
Content. He's
diagnosed
trying to
her
get
and gave her a
click-throughs. He's trying to
prescription.
get
but she doesn't even
diagnosed
want
her?
the-
You
she
have
doesn't
to
even
look
want
at
the
the
I
full
don't even have
picture,
qualifications to
though.
diagnose what
Let
you
me
guys
get
are
to a
looking
super
at.
chat here.
Yeah.
Infinity
He's just trying to
singularity.
get
Premise one: human
I mean, not
ability,
at all.
human abilities and contributions vary widely. Premise two: meritocracy towards these differences. Conclusion:
We clip it here. This is where it ends. Bring this down. And so I guess this is where I'm going to end it again today. Had a lot of fun with y'all. I'm probably going to make another one tomorrow. I'll probably be back tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do a Friday show because I have to go to the doctor again on Friday this week. So last week I didn't make it Friday. Apologies to that. They doctors like to keep me for a long time for some reason now. When you get old, they do that. Keep wanting to stick things up on my butt too. Weirdos. And I will see y'all tomorrow, hopefully. Look for me tomorrow. Peace.
I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather